to yet another live stream. Hopefully you're doing well and hopefully you're excited for Game Week 27. I'm not sure how I feel about Game Week 27. I feel like it could go could go well. It could go horrifically too. And I feel like the issue that we've got at the moment is that all of our decisions revolve around captaincy and pretty much which Brighton mid you own and which Brentford defender you own. And it's really annoying because what essentially happens is I like it in FPL when there's like really differing chip strategies and when there's loads of different players that you can choose from. But I feel like a lot of our teams are very similar. But apart from those three things, which are big, because for example, Pinnock scoring last week, March completely blanking, Matoma and McAllister smashing it, captaincy as well every single week seems to have pretty big swings. So it's not that I'm disliking FPL at the moment, but I feel like I just kind of want it to mix up a bit. So let's see how it goes. But do say good morning or good evening or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Let me know what you're doing right now. Lord Baldski, what a globe. Eggtastic. There's some great ones. I've been called Lord Goblin quite a lot recently. I don't know why, but I'm here for it. Listen, I'm here for all of it. Watching from Australia. Oh, I'd love to be in Australia right now. I'd love to be anywhere where it's a little bit warmer. It's a bit cold in the UK at the moment. On the way to Everton away. Good luck, Max. You're going to need it. Looks pretty cold up there at the moment. My wife has slept in. How dare she? Marcus, she's missing my stream. Wake her up. shake her and say, you're missing Raptor's stream. Get up. Morning, Ross. Good morning, Caroline. Good to see you. Any news on the matches being called off due to the weather? I highly, highly doubt it. I think the fact they haven't been called off yet. Also, there's no snow at all in the north there as far as I've seen. It's actually sunny at points in Leeds, so no, we'll be fine, I think. 30 degrees in Sydney right now, real beach weather. Oh, that's the dream. It's the dream. Lovely to see so many people already in here as well. Should be a pretty good week. I mean, we've got a double game week, which is always fun. I just hope that we get the captaincy and the transfers right. And I've already made my transfer. So let's see how that goes. I loved your video with Yelena. Was such a good laugh. Yeah, thank you to anyone that tuned in to watch that video. It was fun to film. It was pretty funny. Really good idea as well. So thank you to everyone that watched and for the kind words. Rather hot in South Africa as well. I have no doubt. Hot everywhere apart from the UK at the moment, to be fair. Right. Let's just crack on with it. So I have made my transfer. I haven't fully decided on captaincy, and I'll explain why that is in a second, but I've made my the reason for making my transfer last night was, number one, the two players that I were considering, which was McAllister and March, both looked like they could go up in price. And the other thing is, I couldn't make the decision, and I thought, if I wait until the deadline stream, it's going to be utter chaos, and I won't be able to answer your questions because I'll be panicking. So I just made the transfer, which I don't usually do, but I couldn't make the decision this week. So, with all of that being said, let's look at the transfer. So, I did go for McAllister. I think March and McAllister still, for me, are better than Matoma, and I will continue to maintain that. I know I have Matoma, but if I was choosing fresh, it would be March and McAllister. That isn't to say Matoma is a bad option. It's just the data for March and McAllister is so good. The thing that lent me in favour of McAllister was three things. Number one, I'm still slightly worried about this niggle that Solly March is carrying. There's a bit of a mention of it in the press conference. I don't think it's an issue at all. If you have March, keep him. It just worried me slightly that March has this slight niggle. The second thing is March's goal threat is still pretty poor. Like, his XG isn't actually that high, whereas McAllister's XG is through the roof. So March is really creative, but I'm not necessarily sure he's going to score a ton of goals. He probably will now, but I feel like he's more likely to get you assists and also penalties for McAllister. And I always like, and I've said this for months, for seasons now, so this isn't anything new. Wherever possible, I tend to prefer penalty takers, and I try to captain penalty takers as well. So that's why McAllister has come in. The only other thing that I need to think about is whether I want to captain... Someone said the camera's gone. Hopefully it's fine. The only other thing I need to think about is whether I want to captain McAllister or Tony. I will be captaining one of those because I like penalties and I like data, and Matoma's data is not good enough for me anyway. So it'll be McAllister or Tony. So that's the only real decision I need to make for me on this live stream. Other than that, I'm going to be fully focused on your guys' questions. So what do we think of the team? What do we think of the team? I will run captaincy polls in a second. I'll run all of that stuff. By the way, if you are here nice and early, please do drop a like on the stream. It is massively appreciated. Make sure to subscribe as well. I'll get that out the way early. All of the begging for likes. Please like my stream. Just so get that out the way nice and early. Your camera is too bald. My camera is not bald. I guess my camera is bald, to be fair. Your team is almost as sexy as you are. Thank you, Matt. I hope that's sexy and not like a 2 out of 10. Lots of people looking at Chilwell. I really like Chilwell as a punt. I don't know if I would use a transfer on him this week necessarily, but I actually thought Leicester created a lot of chances against Southampton. So let's see. But I do think that Chilwell for game week 28 and 29 onwards could be really, really nice. I have got the bingo, by the way. I'm not going to bring it up too much now. Calvin over on Twitter, I forgot to get his handle, but anyway, he created an FPL Raptor bingo, which is pretty hilarious. Let me just move that over a little bit. I was absolutely cracking up at this, and I've already done 2 or 3 of these, I'm sure. And I saw someone else just playing the Raptor bingo. It's absolutely fantastic. But we'll come back to that a bit later. I feel like we should focus on FPL first. But it did make me laugh. So feel free to take a screenshot of it and try and play FPL Raptor bingo throughout the live stream today. I'm just going to get one out of the way. I love you, Frosty. There you go. That's one done. And the rest you can kind of do as and when. Right. Your team for Game Week 28. Yeah, I'm going to go through my team for Game Week 28 and Game Week 29 a little bit later in the stream. We'll do a little bit of planning later on in the stream. I'll just get some of your questions out the way first. Bench boost. Bench boost is a really interesting one. If my bench was a little bit stronger, I would be tempted. So let's say, for example, rather than Kepa, I can't say his name. Jason Steele. Steele. If you have Jason Steele as your goalkeeper, and instead of Maddison, you had, say, Martinelli or Saka or Rashford, that's a bench boost for me. So if you have a double game week keeper on the bench, which would be one of Raya and Steele, or you have someone slightly better than Maddison, like a Saka or a Rashford, which I've seen on a few people's teams, that for me is a bench boost. But when I've got Kepa versus Maddison, right, they're unlikely to both get points. Zinchenko against Fulham away, I've just got a feeling that Fulham are going to score. I don't know why. And Botman feels like a very 6-point kind of player, isn't he? He's not going to get you tons of points. So it just feels like it doesn't have the highest ceiling for me there when I look at that. If we're relying on pens with McAllister, he got just one time, unlikely to get another. We're not just relying on pens for McAllister. McAllister's data is really strong. So his non-penalty expected goal involvement, since he's gone to the number 10 role, was 1.02, and he's involved in 2 big chances per 90. So McAllister's data is super strong. You're not relying on penalties for McAllister. That's just an additional bonus. I think March and McAllister are very, very close. Maybe just about March, but the fact that you then do get the opportunity for penalties with McAllister, that just swings it. That just swings it back in favour of McAllister for me. The other point around penalties, I've seen some people say because McAllister got a penalty in the previous game, he won't get a penalty in the next game. That just doesn't happen. That's not the way FPL works. That's not the way football works. I'm losing my voice. That's not a good start. Why aren't you in the Team South lineup? From FPL Fella. Essentially, I missed the deadline to let FPL Hints know, and then he just he just told me I'm no longer in the team. So I would have probably still been tempted to play, but I got told. That was it. I missed the deadline. Jason Steele and then spin the wheel. Stop it. Outrageous. That data has restored confidence in March. March is exceptionally good for data. The only thing, like I said, is his expected assist is like better than De Bruyne. March is so creative. His expected goals are okay, and he's also not a particularly clinical finisher. So there are pros and cons to March, but I'm not going to sit here and disrespect Solly March. Solly March is very, very strong as an option, and I would have no issues picking him. Are you wildcarding this week? No, I wildcarded last week. Yes, that was the other thing around Solly March. There were pictures from Tuesday uploaded to the Brighton website. This isn't scaremongering, by the way. This is factual information. take it as you will. On Tuesday, there were training photos uploaded to Brighton's website, and Solly March wasn't in any of the training photos. Now, this could mean 3 or 4 things. Number one, he could, and we've seen this in the past, he could have literally just been doing an interview or a piece of like PR or something like that for some sort of media, which happens. Again, players do miss parts of training as a result. He could have been having a rest because of a recent injury. Not necessarily that he was injured. He might have just been rested, which is perfectly feasible. Or he just might not have been in the pictures. Sometimes players just tend to avoid the pictures, especially I think there was only about 20, 30 pictures. So it doesn't necessarily mean he's injured. It doesn't mean that he missed training because he was injured. There were just a couple of things that didn't make me fully comfortable going for Solly March. But I do really like him. As Jack said as well, this feels set up for a Solly March brace. He blanked last week, and there's injury doubts. Whenever there's injury doubts around a player and they've not scored for a while, they just come in and absolutely smash it. So I have no doubt that Solly March will do well this week. The only thing that I worry about slightly is I still think that Solly March is the least nailed of the 3. That's the only thing that puts me off again slightly. I think all 3 will start when they're fit, 100%. It just worries me slightly that Solly March has come off a couple of times early. So, yeah. I did see someone say, though, so Lamptey's injured now for Brighton. All right, so Lamptey's been playing right back, right wing back, whatever you want to call it, on the right side. So now that he's injured, they've got 2 choices, Brighton. The first choice is that they play Veltman at right back, and if Veltman plays at right back, then the rest of the team stays identical. The other option they've got is they throw Pascal Gross back at right back, because they've played him at right back a few times this season to quite good effect as well. If they put Pascal Gross at right back, all of a sudden they have Caicedo and McAllister as the defensive midfielders. That worries me slightly about captaining McAllister, in that if Gross does go to right back, McAllister's drop into defensive midfield, and then you are reliant on penalties, because he's not going to get you any goals from open play playing defensive mid. Why are you not considering the single game week player as a captain? Kane playing the worst away team or Rashford in super form? It's just not the way I play. I'd much rather 2 bites at the cherry. I'd much rather have 2 opportunities to score points. Especially when Kane's data hasn't been that fantastic, and he tends to be kind of a 6 to 7 point player most weeks. I'm not saying he doesn't have a high ceiling. I'm just saying he doesn't tend to hit that ceiling very often. But Kane's very safe. I'd expect Kane to get a return here. So if you're looking for kind of that high floor, I should say, then Kane might be the guy to go for. Morning, Ross. What time will pitch inspections take place? It's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I would assume that some took place yesterday. They'll wake up today and they'll probably do them later this morning. But the thing is, there's just not been that much snow. I've been speaking to some people that live in Leeds. They said that they don't see any reason why it'd be off. Transport's not been affected particularly, and it's not snowing again today. So I think we'll be fine. Ice isn't an issue because all of the grounds have some form of underground heating, and even if they don't, they'll find a way to de-ice it. So it won't be called off due to an icy pitch. There's no snow. The only thing would be transport for fans getting to the game, and again, I don't think that's necessarily going to be an issue. They would have had to call it off by now. There's no way they can call it off this close for Premier League football, so I think we'll be fine. Obviously, I don't know that for certain, but that's my prediction. Cameron says, hey, Ross, bench 1, Salah, Darwin, Saka, Haaland, Rashford. Best of luck for this game week. God, that's a horrible decision. I would bench... So I wouldn't bench Saka, Salah, or Haaland because all 3 are penalty takers. That tends to be the way I'll play. I hate benching penalty takers just because anything can happen. So it would be one of Rashford or Darwin. I'd probably bench Darwin, but I don't enjoy saying that particularly. But that is not an easy decision at all. It's against Bournemouth. You can't bench Darwin against Bournemouth. I guess you could because there's a small chance that he doesn't play or he gets limited minutes. I don't know. Chat, what do you think? Bench one of Salah, Darwin, Saka, Haaland, or Rashford? I hate making that decision. Maybe Rashford? Southampton haven't been that bad defensively recently. I know a lot of people are surprised when I say that, but they haven't been terrible defensively. So maybe the option there is there to bench Rashford. God, lots of people asking about the Leeds game being called off. I don't think the Leeds game will be called off. I don't know that. I've got no inside information. I'd just be very, very shocked if it's postponed now. There's no need for it to be postponed. Yeah, most people are saying bench Darwin. A couple of people saying Saka. So Saka and Darwin are the two most popular ones there for your answer, Cameron. So bench one of Saka and Darwin. Yeah, so a lot of people talking about bench boost 27. I've kind of mentioned that briefly already. If you have a stronger bench than I do, and maybe you've got like a double game week keeper, then yeah, the bench. I have no issue with the bench boost this week. I quite like it. Could Solly March not play right back? Solly March could play right back, but we've seen no indication that that would be the case under De Zerbi. Whereas we have seen an indication from De Zerbi that he doesn't mind Pascal Gross in a more defensive role. So I think it's more likely. I think the order of what is most likely to replace Lamptey at right back is Veltman, Gross, March. So I think that Solly March will be fine, probably locked in on that right wing. But I don't know that. No one knows what De Zerbi's thinking. Mate, you have McAllister as your captain and you said you probably wouldn't. I don't think I never said I probably wouldn't. I always said I was bringing in one of March and McAllister and I'd probably captain them. So at the moment, I'm captaining McAllister. It could switch to Tony. It's between McAllister and Tony. I've ruled out Matoma, so it's just going to be one of the penalty takers. Who do I think is going to get a penalty? Let's think. They both got a penalty last week, didn't they? So I just like captaining the penalty taker. Whenever down in life, just say it is what it is and move on. Andy FPL. Was that what did Let's Talk FPL say that? Whenever down in life, just say it is what it is and move on. Very nice. I like it. Doesn't help me with all of my red arrows recently. I've gone anti-stats and captained Matoma. Sorry, Mr. Raptor. Right, you're getting blocked. Anyone that goes anti-stats is getting blocked from the channel. Look at this, chat. Look how disgusting this is. Oh, God, that's so bad. Going into the World Cup, I was ranked 1.9k. And it's just been red arrow after red arrow after red arrow after red arrow. The last 2 weeks, I went from 8k to 23k and 23k to 41k. It was a 5.6 million and 6.8 million game week rank. I mean, it couldn't have gone much worse in the last 2 weeks. I just need a green arrow. I would do anything for it. Actually, I need a big green arrow, but let's just start simple. I just like a green arrow. That's it. I'll take anything. Oh, bit of lag there. I'm seeing people removing Solly March from McAllister. I don't know how I feel about that one. I think I would just keep March if I had him. But if you want to go for it, go for it. Looking beautifully bored. Bored? I always struggle bored. I can't speak. Thank you, Harry. I appreciate that. Plans for next week. Is Haaland getting transferred out? Probably. I'm going to discuss Game Week 28 a bit later in the stream, so stick around for that. But yeah, I think Haaland might be coming out, and I've got 3 potential replacements for him. But yeah, it won't be this week. It'll be in Game Week 28. Who's your differential, Ross? My differential is pretty much McAllister captain. The rest of the team is a fairly standard wildcard team, isn't it? So yeah, differential is McAllister captain. If you're asking who do I think is a good differential for the coming weeks, I like João Felix and Havertz. I think are both 2 really nice options. I know a lot of people don't like Havertz, but again, he's on penalties, which I like. And Chilwell. So those 3 from Chelsea. And then maybe like a Nottingham Forest player. So probably Brennan Johnson would be my choice. I don't dislike Gibbs White. I think they've got a really nice underrated double in Game Week 29, Nottingham Forest. My team was doing great until I started following your channel. You are welcome. Subscribe for more great tips. Holding Castagna post-World Cup was the worst decision you made all season. I didn't really play Castagna, though, so I don't think it was. It's not like I played Castagna every week. He was on my bench most weeks. So I don't think keeping Castagna was the worst decision. I've just been getting a couple of sort of key decisions wrong, like captaincy and stuff like that. Nick says, start 2, bench 3. Erdegaard, Almiron, Watkins, Zinchenko, Chilwell. Odegaard, Almiron, Watkins, Zinchenko, Chilwell. I'd start Watkins and Odegaard, because if Odegaard is ill, he'll probably miss out altogether. I don't think he'll be benched and come on. I don't think. So I would start Odegaard and Watkins and then have... I would probably have Zinchenko first sub, would be the way I would order that, Nick. Darius says, hey, mate, Dunk or Estepinian, Mins versus Ceiling. I still think it's worth going for Estepinian, but yeah, Dunk is a lot safer, especially for the double game week 29. Just because, like I said, Estepinian plays in Argentina 3 days before their fixture in game week 29. So there is a small chance that Estepinian misses that first fixture or gets limited minutes. If he gets limited minutes, as long as it's over 60, it doesn't matter. I think the risk is worth it going for Estepinian, personally. But if you want safety, yeah, Dunk's fine as well. Eric has just become a member. Thank you very much for becoming a member. I do appreciate you. Any pattern for max expected defensive midfielder? I said that the only thing that puts me off slightly and makes me think he could drop to defensive mid, this is the only thing, because I think he's been playing far too well in the number 10 role to drop, is Lamptey's now injured, which means that they have a free right-back slot. 3 things could happen. Veltman can play right-back. Solly March could drop to right back, which I don't think is going to happen. Or Pascal Gross could go to right back and then McAllister drops into defensive mid. The reason I still don't think that's going to happen is because if Pascal Gross goes to right back, McAllister drops to defensive mid, they've then got a number 10 role that they've got nothing to do. Like, who do you put in that number 10 role? You could put Matoma there and then play like Ferguson or Welbeck on the left, I suppose. But that seems ridiculous, putting 2 or 3 people out of position for that. Or you could, I suppose, go to like a 4-4-2 and have Ferguson and Welbeck together. It just feels like I don't think De Zerbi will mess around with the team that much. And I think the most straightforward thing to do is just to slap Veltman at right back. So I think for now, we're fine with McAllister playing the 10 role, but I don't know that for certain. Start Saka or Odegaard, Ross. Definitely Saka for me. Please take us through the Sanchez dilemma. I think... So, unless I was bench boosting in 27, I would probably just keep him and decide a bit later. If you're bench boosting in 27, just go to Jason Steele. If you want to bench boost in 29, I think you can wait. I understand that the issue with waiting is it means you only have 2 Brighton assets this week because you're holding your third in Sanchez. I just don't think it's worth 2 transfers to move Sanchez to someone else and then get a Brighton mid in. Unless you've got 2 free transfers, I think you can just probably roll with the team that you've got and then do Sanchez to someone like Navas potentially in game week 29 or De Gea. You can choose the keeper that you want in 29. So I think unless you're bench boosting this week, I would just leave him. If you do want to make the move, Jason Steele, Raya, Kepa, or again, I do think Keylor Navas could be a decent shout. Hello there, Shiny Ross. Hello. Should I take a hit to bring in Raya for Ward? Or McDonald's for March for Odegaard? Oh, McDonald's or March for Odegaard. What an interesting message that was. I would be tempted by McAllister or March in for Odegaard. I'm not sure about Raya in for Ward. I'm not overly confident about Brentford's clean sheet potential in these 2 games. And I feel like Chelsea have been struggling to score goals recently. It's not out of the question that Ward could get something there. He'll probably make quite a few saves at the very least. So I would probably lean towards the McAllister or March in for Odegaard move. But who would play attacking midfield if McAllister goes back? Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The only real option they've got is either probably Matoma playing the role, or they could switch to a 4-4-2 and have Welbeck and Ferguson starting together. But it just makes no sense when Brighton are playing as well as they are for De Zerbi to start changing loads of the players around. For me, that front 4 should be locked. It should be March, Matoma, McAllister, and probably Ferguson starting. And so it makes sense to keep Gross in defensive midfield and start Veltman. Yeah, that would be my opinion on it, obviously. I mean, obviously, it's just an opinion. I don't know. Talk about captaincy, Ross. Yeah, I can talk about captaincy. I don't think there's much in it with any of the 4 key options. For me, there are only 4 options this week. I wouldn't ever captain a single game week player when there's such a nice double. So for me, it's March, McAllister, Matoma, and Tony. I've got on your screen as well, and Burmo and Ferguson. It depends what you're after. Penalties for me is incredibly important. I will tend to prefer to captain a penalty taker if possible, which would put you on McAllister and Tony. If penalties aren't particularly important to you and you prefer data, then it's probably March or McAllister. And if you prefer kind of eye test and consistency, Matoma and Tony have been very good. So it really does depend on what you value when you're picking a player and what you look for. For me, I look for a mixture of goal threat, attacking data, and penalties. And at the moment, McAllister's ticking all of those boxes. So that's why I've got Mac 10 as the captain. So let me switch back. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, again, I try not to say it too often. Please do drop a like on the stream. Make sure to subscribe as well. We're on the road to 65,000 subscribers. I don't think we'll hit it in today's stream, but I would really appreciate you subscribing and also liking the stream as well. Haaland and Ødegaard to Salah and Watkins. Have a blessed day, Ross. You have a blessed day too. I'm not sure how I feel about that unless Ødegaard's out. But if Ødegaard is out, I would just switch to a Brighton mid. I know why you want Salah and Watkins in. Salah blanks next week. I'm not sure now's the time to be getting Salah in. And it's a tricky double. And then Arsenal, I think, for Liverpool. So I'm still not sure about Salah. It's not that he's a bad option. I expect him to do well this week. I just wonder if you can bring in someone that does well this week. Maybe has a fixture in 28, but if not, has a better fixture in 29. And I do like the Brighton double for 29. Who should I captain out of March, Matoma, and Tony? If I owned those 3, I would probably just about lean Tony, just because of the slight doubts around March. But they're only slight, obviously. So I would probably go Tony. For me at the moment, my adjusted thoughts around captaincy are McAllister, Tony, and then like March and Matoma after that, depending on what you're looking for. Iaquinta89 has I probably just butchered your name. Thank you for becoming a member. I do appreciate that. Welcome to the Raptier family. The Big Mac or March for Captain Ross? Solly March has never scored in the month of March. Just saying. Just saying. I like using absolutely terrible logic for not picking or picking players. Mac 10 is just a cool name. You can just say, like, imagine, right? Imagine we're on Twitter and McAllister completes his hat-trick and I can just tweet that. That's the dream, right? That is going to be my exact tweet when McAllister completes his hat-trick. Why did you choose the name Raptor, by the way? I'm a Toronto Raptors fan. So that's it. Everyone just assumes that I love Jurassic Park when I say Raptor. No, it's Toronto Raptors. Big up to Claudette in the chat as well. I've just seen you there as well. And anyone else from Toronto too. Am I crazy for not having Tony at all? I don't think so. I do think he's the best forward option for this week, but also they don't have a great double in 29. He will be banned very, very soon, either for yellow cards or for the betting. You could go against Tony. There's not a huge issue doing that. Hey, can you please cover your bald head? There you go. Estepinan's going to start both games. Yeah, I would expect Estepinian to start. Estepinan's nailed unless there's some sort of issue we don't know about. Estepinian captain. I don't hate that. If he keeps a clean sheet in one game and maybe gets a return in the same one or the other, you could be looking at like 13, 14, 15 plus points. I don't dislike it, but I don't think they're great games from a defensive perspective. I think Leeds will probably score at Elland Road. I quite like the Palace game, but Zaha is back now, and he does cause problems for defences. Who would you bench? Kane, Martinelli, or Rashford? I'd probably bench Martinelli there. I wouldn't ever bench Kane against Forest at home, so Kane's out of the question. And I just like that it's Southampton at home for Rashford, whereas Fulham away feels like a slightly trickier fixture for Martinelli. It's pronounced Yaquinta after Vincenzo Yaquinta, former Udinese and Juve player. Perfect. Hopefully I pronounced it right that second time. March or McAllister? Guys, I genuinely, I know obviously you need my help. I don't know is the answer. I went for McAllister. So if you want my opinion, I lent in favour of McAllister. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's the better option. Right, there are pros and cons to both of them, to all three, I suppose. That graphic hasn't been updated for prices, but it really depends what you're looking for. I like how central McAllister is. I like the big chances. I like the goal threat. I like the pens. The only thing I don't like about McAllister is if he drops to defensive midfield. Because if McAllister stays as the number 10, I would confidently look at you and say McAllister is the best FPL option from Brighton. But if he drops to the defensive mid, he's all of a sudden comfortably the worst. So it's that risk. If you think he's going to stay in the number 10 role, I would go McAllister. But it's difficult to know if he will. Luke says, will you do a collaboration with Yelena on your channel? Thank you for the super chat. Yes. We are planning. If you haven't watched Yelena's video yet, let me copy across that video because you can watch it post deadline. It's the sort of thing where you don't need to watch it before the deadline. Share, copy. We're going to do a drunk Friday deadline stream at some point. Yeah, so yes, we will be. Also, when you click on that video, go watch it. She's almost at 3,000 subscribers. How many people are in the chat? There's 4,000 people here. Help her to get to 3,000 subscribers. As a favor to me, but also her content's very good. I think I missed a super chat. Let me check. No, we're all good. I did well. I'm nailing it. I flip captaincy between Matoma and March every 20 minutes or so. Should we do a captaincy poll? Let's do a captaincy poll in the chat. Right. This is the big one. This is one of the most important captaincy decisions of the season. Can confirm Yelena's content is great. Yelena's videos are great. Look at all the kind words. I don't think Yelena's watching today, sadly, but I'll let her know that everyone was incredibly kind. What was I doing? Captaincy poll. Tony. Matoma. March. McAllister. Tony, Matoma, March, McAllister. Ask a community. Wait, that actually worked. Nice. I'll send her a voice note. We can send her a voice note live on stream. Set on McAllister. Yeah, so I've just put a poll in the chat. Make sure to vote on that. Yelena, we are live streaming and you got a little shout out and you've just hit 3,000 subscribers. So when you check, congratulations. I love a good voice note, chat. If anyone ever gets my number, I just send constant voice notes. Right. Use the wheel. You just want me to use the wheel because I can't pronounce the word wheel. 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 Bench Watkins, Martinelli, or Rashford? I would bench... I feel like I change my decision every time people ask me these things. Watkins is on penalties at the moment. He's playing very... I would bench Martinelli there. Oh, I love these live streams. Thank you for being here if you are here. Voice notes are the work of the devil. You're just going to get blocked for that opinion. Who do you think has the better fixtures between Tony and the Brighton midfielders? I prefer the fixtures. If I switch back to this graphic, no, not that graphic, this graphic, I prefer the fixtures for the Brighton midfielders. Because I don't understand how. I've checked this on like 3 sites. Southampton's defensive data has been really good post-World Cup, and I can't wrap my head around that. Their fixtures haven't been terrible, I suppose, but I think maybe they've been slightly unlucky. Also, Brentford aren't great away from home, but Tony is. It's really strange. So Brentford don't do particularly well away from home, but Tony tends to be quite good away from home. So it's tricky. I think they've both got really nice doubles, but I would favour the Brighton doubles slightly. Frosty, have you put that message in the chat just so that you can get the FPL Raptor bingo? I'm not going to read it out loud. Saka or Maddison on the bench? Definitely Maddison. I'd start Saka. Saka's just so good. I was wrong about Saka. Saka's data doesn't support what a player he is. That was a mistake I made. I was a bit late on Saka because his data still isn't that great, but he's just excellent. And this is where data doesn't capture everything. And I understand the pros and cons of data. And one of the cons is that sometimes we can miss out on some key players. Are we overlooking Rashford captaincy post 7-0 drubbing? I don't think so. I think I would always captain a double game week player, assuming that there is a quality option with a good double. And in this case, I think you've got 4 quality options with a good double. Where's the poll? The poll's at like the top of the chat. So if you look in the live chat, it's only had 1,600 votes and there are almost 4,000 people here. So make sure you vote on the captaincy poll. Go onto the live chat, open it up, and you'll see it there. Spin the damn wheel. Okay. Right, I'm not going to do this for too long because loads of people were complaining that they didn't like the wheel. The wheel. What did we say we were going to call it? The circular decision machine. Because I can't say the word. Matoma, March, McAllister, Tony. Right, this is the big one. Right, this is the biggest spin of the season. You can't outrun the wheel. 3, 2, 1. Spin. Oh dear. That's the only player that I don't own. I own 3 of the 4. The Disc of Destiny. Oh, the Disc of Destiny. The Disc of Destiny has betrayed me. Yes, the Disc of Doom now. Should we do best 2 of 3? Chat, should we do best 2 of 3, or do you want to get off the Disc of Destiny? I went March. It agrees with me. I should have gone March. Shall I sell Matoma for Solly March? What's the success rate of the Disc of Destiny? I don't know. We need to get a best of 3. Right, that's fine. Right, so March has got 1. If this is March again, then I'm going to bring in and captain March. That was close. Okay, March Tony. Let's have a look. Delete 1 option after every spin. That doesn't seem fair. Then everyone's going to get spun on at least once. Circular organizing chance creator. I like it. Right, this is the one. And then we're done. Yeah, first to 2. Yeah, Frosty, yeah, first to 2. First player to 2 is the one's captain. Oh my god. Okay. Wait. So Matoma's got 1, March has got 1, Tony's got 1. So it's everyone. Is everyone apart from McAllister? Let me remind you that my current captain is McAllister. 1 more spin. If this is McAllister, then it's basically going to be a 4-way split. Wheel. Okay, there you go. The wheel thinks you should captain Matoma. The Disc of Destiny has suggested Matoma. It's basically everyone apart from the person that I want to captain. Thanks for nothing. Oh. Success. That music is so satisfying. It's kind of also a bit creepy, but I do enjoy the music. This is not helping. I apologise. That's it. We're done with the wheel. The wheel. Matoma captain. Yeah, but lock in the Matoma captain. Definitely. Disc of Destiny has suggested so. This brings me back, reminds me of FPL Dare. Yeah, if you used to watch FPL Dare back in the day, you did some similar stuff. You should copyright that. Bound to get picked up by Sky Sports. Maybe I'll get picked up by Sky Sports. Can you imagine FPL Raptor on Sky Sports? Maybe I'll be doing Match of the Day tonight. You don't know. Well, I mean, you do know because I wouldn't in a million years, but you don't know. Maybe they've asked me. I could be Gary Lineker. I'm more like Alan Shearer with the bald head, but I could be Gary Lineker. The Disc of Confusion. Who's the best Brentford defender? I think Henry, me, and Pinnock are all absolutely fine. It really depends on budget. Obviously, me's more expensive. Henry's got better creative threat. Pinnock and me have got slightly greater goal threat. I would pay £36.78 to watch that. That's a very specific amount of money. I don't hear music. There's no music now. There was music. How does Tony's effective ownership affect rank this week, Ross? I think Tony's effective ownership will be above 100%, which means so many people will own and captain him that if you don't captain Tony, you are going to want Tony to blank, which is a horrible position to be in, but it's the way that FPL works. This is why I don't like captaincy. This is why if I was to choose, I would remove captaincy from the game, which I know everyone really, really hates. Everyone really hates that. But I just think captaincy, it's already a very difficult game to predict, and there are already massive swings. Captaincy just like amplifies that. So, yeah, I don't like captaincy. I'm not a fan of captaincy at all. You have the kindest face. Thank you very much, Emma. I appreciate that. That's a lovely compliment. Marcus, our rabbit just farted. I'm concerned. Are you sure you didn't just fart and blame it on the rabbit, Marcus? That's what that sounds like to me. Bro, why are you not captaining Salah? There are 3 reasons I'm not captaining Salah. Salah only has a single game week. I feel like McAllister and Tony are better with a double game week. And thirdly, I don't own Salah. So there you go. How come you're going with McAllister as the captain? He's just got excellent goal threat. I prefer the fixtures, and he's on penalties. What are the weather conditions like for Leeds versus Brighton? I think they're fine. I think there's absolutely nothing to worry about there. Hey, my name is Marcus, and I definitely didn't fart on a rabbit. I don't think Marcus farted on the rabbit. I think Marcus farted around the rabbit in general. Like at the rabbit, not on the rabbit. I hope not. Marcus, if you did fart on the rabbit, then that's not okay. Like, all right? And I'll tell Mrs. FPLB. Oh, God, I'm delirious. Why not captain Harry Kane? I just don't ever captain single game week players. I'm a double game week sucker. Let me be a double game week sucker in peace. That was a tongue twister. Raptor, I love your bald head. I love you, Lewis. Thank you. Shaw or Ben White for the bench? I would start Luke Shaw. I have triple captain March this week. Good luck. Solly March is a beast. Why not captain Madison? Go away. Martinelli or Visser? Ooh. I don't even know what Visser's minutes have been like recently. Let me have a look. Ooh, whoa. Visser. 76, 62, 19, 73, 16. What was the question? Martinelli or Visser? Probably still Visser, but I wouldn't be surprised if Martinelli outscores him. Chat, do we think I've got my bench order correct? What would your bench order be? I don't think it will matter anyway, but it's just nice to try and get the bench order correct. Do you think I've got the bench order correct? Right, so captaincy poll I'm going to end now. 52% on Tony, 20% on Matoma, 16% on March, and 12% on McAllister. So if you want a differential captain, any of the Brighton midfielders, but McAllister's the most differential captain this week. And you're also in a live stream where I'm captaining McAllister. So I think McAllister's captaincy percentage will be even lower than that. Raptor, how are you handling Game Week 28? I'll talk about Game Week 28 in like 5 minutes. I'm just going to quickly run another poll. I want to know which Brighton mid you'll own for Game Week 27. Matoma and March. Matoma and McAllister. And then March and McAllister. Oh, McAllister. And then we've got only 1/all 3. So I've just put another poll in the chat. I just want to know which Brighton midfielders you own. So I've got Matoma and March, Matoma and McAllister, March and McAllister, and then as the final option, because you can only have 4 on a poll, I've got only one of them or all 3 of them. So I just want to know kind of what the ownership percentages are going to be like. Why are people overlooking Pascal Gross? Because he'll play central defensive midfield or right wing back or right back. He's just not playing an attacking role anymore under De Zerbi. What's the deal with Ødegaard? Ødegaard was ill and missed some training, but I don't know if he's still ill. Still ill? Still ill will, still will. I don't know is the answer. Matoma to McAllister. I would just keep whatever Brighton mids you've got. I wouldn't start messing around moving your Brighton mids around personally. Big up to you, Raptor. Your channel is by far the best for FPL. I don't know about that, but I do appreciate you watching and for the compliment. Thank you. Ødegaard is ill. Ødegaard was ill. I don't know if he still is. I think he'll be fine, but that's just a gut feeling rather than knowing something. I've had no information on Ødegaard, sadly. If I had Ødegaard, and you wanted to start him, I would happily start him because I think if he's still ill, then he won't play at all, you would imagine. If he's fit, then he'll probably play. But he might come off a bit early if he's not been in training and he's a bit fatigued. I think for a lot of people, he'd probably be on the bench anyway this week if you wildcarded last week. Ross, why is your beard so short? I had a bit of a beard mishap and I shaved a hole in my beard, so I had to cut it really short. Are you Polish? Your English is pretty darn good. No, I'm very English. Do I look Polish or is it the accent? No, I'm perfectly English. Perfectly English? Extremely English. 100% English. When you do like the family tree, I'm English for quite a long way. Bench Saka or Watkins? I would bench Watkins. No, you're definitely Australian. There we go. Apparently. Do you think it's worth captaining Raya? No. I don't. I've got a feeling Brentford won't keep a clean sheet this week. I'm not overly convinced. If they do, I'm happy because I've got a double Brentford defence, but... Haha, you do look Polish now. Someone's pointed it out. That's great. I have no issue with looking Polish. Right, someone wanted to see my team for Game Week 28. So let me just run through what my current plan is. Move over to Fantasy Football Hub. So, by the way, there is a link in the description. I don't really push it particularly often. It's an affiliate link, so I get like a very small cut of that. But anyway, you get 30% off. I get a small cut. If you want to use Fantasy Football Hub, there is a link in the description. So that's me for this week. My team rating's 97%. Game week rating, 93%. So the team is in a good place. My predicted points is 96. If I can get anywhere close to 100 points, I think I'd be happy. Let's move on to Game Week 28. So the current team, as things stand, I have one free transfer, and the team at the moment will have 9 players with triple Brighton on the bench and Rashford and Haaland in the starting 11. As I've spoken about on a few occasions, Brighton still have, after Game Week 27, 4 more double game weeks this season. They have 1 in 29, 1 in 30/31, 1 in 34, and then they have another in 37. So Brighton have just got a host of double game weeks coming up. So I don't really want to sell my Brighton assets. I don't want to sell Rashford because I think it's actually quite a nice double in game week 29 against Brentford and Newcastle. So I don't want to sell Rashford. And so that leaves Haaland. That's the only player that blanks that I can comfortably sell for 28. Now, I say comfortably sell because it is Haaland. I have some money tied up in him. But the reason that I potentially could look to sell Haaland is he obviously blanks in 28, then it's Liverpool in 29. So if you bring in someone that plays in 28 and doubles in 29, for Haaland's one fixture, you get 3 fixtures. So it makes sense, I think, to sell him in 28. It's just always, of course, very, very scary to sell Haaland. But I would be bringing him immediately back in for game week 30. Father says, Kepa, Henry, Estepinian, Trippier, Matoma, captain. Nice. McAllister, Saka, Rashford, Tony, Haaland, Kane. What do you think, Ross? Looks like the perfect team. It's basically my team, but you've got Kepa and you've captained Matoma. But other than that, yeah, looking really strong, mate. Nice team. So that's the team at the moment for 28. So I think I've got 3 options to replace Haaland in 28. I think those 3 options are Brennan Johnson, because again, I do like Forest fixtures and I quite like the fact that he's on penalties and he's playing quite well. Or the 2 more likely options are Watkins and João Felix, maybe Havertz. I don't know how I feel about Havertz still. I'm probably leaning Watkins, but I might get a little bit spicy with Felix. I really like the game in 28. Then it's Liverpool, Villa, Wolves, Brighton, Brentford. Let's say for now it's Felix. I would probably captain Harry Kane, and I'd probably have the vice on Saka. So I would have 10 players in game week 28, no hit required, and I would keep my triple Brighton and Rashford as the players that blank. Going into game week 29, the team as things stand would look something like this, right? So I would probably say Kane is a slightly better option than Saka and Henry, maybe just about. So the bench boost, because I'm going to bench boost in game week. I'm going to bench boost in game week 29. So the bench would look something like this, and I would have 1 free transfer. So as I've spoken about, at the moment, my plans revolve around potentially Saka to someone like Bruno Fernandes could be an option. Zinchenko to Shaw could be an option as well. Or I could potentially sell Rico Henry or Botman because they don't have the best double in game week 29. So it could be like, for example, Henry to Shaw, and I actually keep my Arsenal assets. I don't really know at the moment, but the bench boost will be relatively strong. I'll have at least 13 double game week players, probably, maybe 12, potentially as much as 14. And then going into game week 30, the team's looking strong as well. And then what I'll basically do is Tony will come out in game week 30, and that's when Haaland will come back in. So I won't go long without Haaland. He'll come back in, and I can afford that quite comfortably as well, even if I make, for example, the move of Saka to Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, that's the current plan. For 28, I'm going to have 10 players. And again, I don't know if this spot here will be João Felix, Watkins, could even be Iheanacho, Brennan Johnson. There are loads of different options. Hopefully that's clear for those of you that wanted to know what the plan is. Linus says, João Felix / other striker and Salah, or Haaland and Gakpo other mid on the wild card. I think I would go João Felix and Salah, probably, or Watkins and Salah. And then next week you can do Salah to someone else if you want to. But to be honest, on a wild card, I don't think I would have Salah. I don't think I'd have Salah. And I don't know if I would have Haaland. It's a tricky one. Maybe Haaland and another midfielder now, and then next week maybe I'll do that. I do Haaland and probably a Brighton midfielder, and then next week I would do Haaland to Felix or Watkins. So I would have Haaland for this week, I think. There's a really loud, like, crow or something outside my window. Polkit says, all the best, Ross. Been a year now, and I've always enjoyed your content. Thank you. There's 13 months you've been a Wrap Tier member, so thank you. Also, loved the video with Yelena. You both killed it. Take care. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed that video. We very much enjoyed it as well. Thoughts on tripling up on the Brighton mids? Yeah, if I was in a wild card, I would. And if you can do it relatively easy with transfers, Yeah, I would triple up on the Brighton mids, probably. We can hear that bird. It's so loud, isn't it? So loud. This season is to beat my cousin for a trophy my daughter made. Very nice. 60 points in the lead. He's captain Tony. Should I go March or block him with Tony? If the only thing you care about is your mini league, you're 60 points. I would block him with Tony probably. But it is quite early to start making defensive moves in your mini leagues. It's tricky because if March outscores Tony, that lead becomes even bigger. I would probably block him with Tony. But again, if you're interested in just getting the most points, captain the player that you think will get the most points. But if you're really only focused on the mini league, I'd block him. This is where mini leagues are quite exciting. They become slightly different. I think it's very difficult to play for both mini leagues and overall points, unless you just think every week I'm going to try and get the most points possible. But sometimes it makes sense to play slightly smarter in those mini leagues. Triple captain advice, please. There's no one that tempts me that much for triple captaincy this week. I think I would keep the triple captaincy in your back pocket. Haven't you considered risky moves like McAllister captaincy, Bamford, and last week's Maddison is what has you at 3 million in second chance? Go for the EO pick. McAllister is still a differential. I'm not deliberately making risky decisions. I think this week McAllister is a slightly better captaincy option. I thought Bamford was a good choice. That these aren't things that, and Maddison as well, I thought was a good choice. I'm not being risky for the sake of it. It just so happens that some of these decisions are slightly risky and they've not paid off yet. But I'm not going to start making decisions based on ownership, personally. I love your banter and thick skin with all of the abuse you get. On top of that, you also have the best FPL content. Respect. It's difficult. At first, when I first started creating content, it's difficult to have a thick skin because you take everything personally. Like when someone attacks the way I look, like that would have really upset me in the past. But now I just brush it off. There's nothing I can do. I can't change my face. I can't change my face. So if someone wants to attack that, then they can go for it. Should I bench Maddison or Erdegaard? Unless we get news that Erdegaard is out due to illness, which we don't know yet, I would bench Maddison and I would start Erdegaard. Marcus, you are very handsome. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. So are you, my friend. Thank you for all of the kind compliments. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but thank you. I appreciate that. I just read them all. If you had 100k subs, you could afford to change your face. Come on, guys, smash that sub and like button. If I hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of the season, I will take my top off on the Gameweek 38 live stream. That's a fact. You can hold me to that as well. Bald is beautiful. Bald is beautiful. Trippier. Is that just a statement? What about Trippier? Oh, I saw a lot of people asking about Trippier versus Zinchenko this week. It's just the home fixture for me. There's not that much to separate them. I just feel like Fulham are a slightly better attack. It's away for Zinchenko. Trippier's at home. I'm going to back Trippier. But I think they're both decent options. You can't go back on that now. I'm not going to go back on it. We need to hit 100,000 subs before the end of the season. I'm laughing because we won't even hit 70,000 subs before the end of the season, but... Let's pray Liverpool don't destroy Bournemouth. It doesn't feel great having no Liverpool before Bournemouth. They won 9-0 the last time they played. $60 points behind my mini league leader, captain Brighton mid or Tony. I don't think you need to start panicking when you're 60 points behind. I would captain the player that you think will get the most points. But yes, a Brighton midfielder is going to be a differential this week. I'm actually really shocked how many people are captaining Tony. Not that I think Tony's a bad choice. I just thought more people would be tempted by the Brighton mids. But pretty much everyone that I've seen is captaining Tony. So yeah, if you want to go slightly different, it is any of the Brighton midfielders. But Matoma is the least differential. It's in order of captaincy favourites, it's going to be Tony, Matoma, March, McAllister. So March and McAllister will be really nice differential options. So on that poll, by the way, which Brighton midfielders will you own? 55% of people will own Matoma and March, 19% Matoma and McAllister, 10% March and McAllister. So the most popular pairing is Matoma and March for sure. I love this. I love it. No Salah is criminal. How much does FPL change and how quickly does it change? A few weeks ago, people were sending literal abuse to content creators for not picking Salah. And now people are like, how have you not got Salah? Salah's the best captaincy option. It just makes me laugh. In the space of 2 or 3 weeks, Salah is now a fantastic FPL option. And do you know what my opinion is? My opinion has always been, Salah has always been a good FPL option. He's just a little bit overpriced for what he's been delivering. Are you worried about Gross playing right back and McAllister dropping deeper? Yes, that's a possibility. I think that it's more likely that Veltman will go into right back. Because if Gross goes to right back, that's one player out of position. McAllister then drops to defensive mid, which technically is his normal position, but another player has to move. Then Matoma has to move centrally, because someone has to replace McAllister. Then someone has to go into Matoma's spot. So what you're looking at is 4 people changing positions around, rather than just putting Veltman at right back. So I don't think De Zerbi will do that, but I don't know. Shall I get Kane for Darwin on a wild card? I think they're both fine, but the fact that Kane has an extra fixture in 28 would probably leave me in favour of Kane. So I would probably prefer Kane to Darwin just. But obviously Darwin has a double in 29. So pros and cons to both. Botman goal this game week. Heard it here first, FPL Phillips. Potentially. Hopefully not. He's on all of our benches, so... Why are you not talking about Ward-Prowse? I think Ward-Prowse is fine. He's on penalties. He's on free kicks, which are basically penalties for Ward-Prowse. I don't dislike him at all, but I just think there are slightly better options this week to talk about, I guess. Hey, Raptor. Felix, I feel, is about to have a great spell, so starting him over Martinelli. What are your thoughts between James and Chilwell for this good run of fixtures they have? Well, James is out with illness for Gameweek 27, and I just feel like he keeps missing fixtures with different things. I would prefer Chilwell at the moment. How are your mini leagues going? The ones that interest you the most to win? None of my mini leagues interest me that much, to be fair. I'm much more interested in overall rank. So none of the mini leagues bother me that much. And I'm very much of the opinion that if I do make the decisions required to get the best possible rank, that will benefit my mini leagues as well. So I really don't overly focus on that stuff, on like the mini leagues. Let's have a look how many subscribers we've got. God, my internet's really slow today. Hopefully the stream's not lagging too much. My internet's gone down like 50% this morning. Your jumper is 3 sizes too big for you. It's oversized. I don't want to wear something that's like restricting my movement. But thank you. Camera's holding up. Scary, isn't it, Claudette? Scary. It's been an hour and 6 minutes. Do you get paid for mini leagues? No, I don't do cash mini leagues. Firstly, because they're banned by FPL and I just don't want to get in trouble. But secondly, I don't really gamble. So, no, I just play FPL for fun. But I know you can earn a lot of money through cash leagues. This happened midweek and you cursed it. I know, Frosty. I've cursed it probably this time as well. Bench boost. I do really like the bench boost for 27. My bench isn't quite good enough for it, I don't think. But some people's benches look so good. You look buffed up, or is it the sweatshirt? Do I? Yeah, I'm incredibly buff. That's what it is. It's not the sweatshirt. Why not triple captain? I've already triple captain, but are you asking why I wouldn't recommend triple captain? I just don't fully trust any of the captains to absolutely explode. I think there will be better opportunities in the future. You are a nice content creator. Thank you, BroPro98. You're a lovely viewer. Couldn't get Tony as the third forward without a hit, so had to sell Haaland. I feel a bit dirty. Make me feel better about it. I don't hate that at all. I probably would have sold Haaland if I wanted to get Tony in. I think this week it could go a little bit wrong, but 28 he blanks, 29 he doesn't double. I think everyone will be looking at removing Haaland soon. So you're absolutely fine. I like McAllister's stats, but I'm worried about his finishing. Yeah, his finishing hasn't been great, but I don't necessarily think that his finishing is poor. I guess Matoma's is slightly better. Let's see. What is the injury news on March? So apparently March has been carrying a niggle recently. Potentially one of the reasons that he come off slightly early in Gameweek 26. It's probably nothing to worry about. But he wasn't pictured in training on Tuesday. That being said, De Zerbi said he's on the list, i.e. in the squad for Gameweek 27 for the first fixture against Leeds. I don't know. I think he'll be fine, but that did put me off slightly. But I think he'll be fine. I don't want to put you off captain in March. You look like a better looking version of my brother. Weird. Thanks, Kate. Should I free hit? I don't mind a free hit this week. If you've got like no Brighton... That was a loud engine. If you've got no Brighton and Brentford players and your team's looking a bit weak, then I don't mind the free hit. But for most of us, I don't think we probably need the free hit. Are you worried about Tony's impending ban? I think we'll be fine for that. Don't gamble. You are gambling wearing that jumper. That made me laugh, Mark. Thanks. Do you want to make Yelena your wife? These comments are great. Oh, God. Tony and McAllister in for Mahrez and Watkins. Sounds nice. I wouldn't sell Watkins personally, but I understand the desire to get Tony in. I'd probably just keep Watkins. Captain Tony or Matoma? I prefer Tony to Matoma. Just for the slightly better data and the penalties. My sons think you are funny. I'm glad some people think I'm funny. I think I'm hilarious. No, joking. I laugh at myself all the time, but I don't think other people necessarily do. Erdegaard to Mac 10 for a -8. I love McAllister as an option, but I don't know if I would start taking massive hits to switch around. Watkins or Erdegaard, given Erdegaard has a yellow flag, Russ. I think I would start Watkins regardless. He's on penalties at the moment, which is quite big. Grealish for a Brighton midfielder for a hit. Yes. Yes, I would do that. Let's go McAllister. Let me know, chat. Is anyone captaining McAllister with me? I think I've committed. I'm going to captain McAllister. Who's captain McAllister with me? Early team news? I don't even know who the early game is. Why do I not know who the early game is? Bournemouth, Liverpool. Who do we want early team news around, chat? For those that just asked, I think there was a couple of people asked about early team news. There. I just asked chat, who's captaining McAllister with me? I looked away, looked back at the chat, and it's just about 40 people just said no. All right, I'll be in this by myself. That's fine. Oh, there's a few people that are joining me. Okay, people want to know about potentially Darwin, Gakpo, and Trent. Okay, I'll let you know if there's any news around, if I see any news around Liverpool. We've already done a captaincy poll. Tony won it quite comfortably. So the captaincy poll, if you've just joined, we ran a captaincy poll earlier. It was Tony with like 55%. Then it was Matoma with about 20. And then it was March and McAllister. So Tony, Matoma, March, McAllister in that order is the most popular captaincy according to my chat. Matoma, I like my footballers to have a university degree. That is the benefit, isn't it, of Matoma for sure. I really enjoyed the tipsy video with Yelena. Loads of people commenting that. I'm really glad that people enjoyed that video. Rappy. Rappy's a cute name. Hello, Rappy. Did you know bald people are legends? Why, thank you. I appreciate that. And why not triple Brighton mids? Captain Rashford is tempting me. Why not do it? And he's home. Triple Brighton mids, I actually really like, but I already had Estepinian. I don't think it's worth transfers to take Estepinian out and then to bring in March. So I do really like the triple Brighton mids. Captaining Rashford, I think he'll do really well this week. I just think that, in general, I prefer to captain a double game week player. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Dimitri says, March versus Martinelli. Oh, because obviously there's a blank in game week 28. I still prefer March. I think. Martinelli's data really hasn't been that great recently. I know he obviously got a couple of hauls, but I'm not sure. What transfer did you make this week? I did Martinelli to McAllister. Martinelli to McAllister. I'm pretty happy with that move. And I'm giving the armband to McAllister. I was going to make a joke about him being Scottish and being able to play in the snow. But I know that would upset people because he's not Scottish and people wouldn't understand the joke. So I'm not going to make that joke. Estepinian captain. Yeah, I don't dislike that at all. I think I prefer the midfielders, but... Is Kane worth the risk to captain? Again, I wouldn't captain a single game week player, but if you are going to, Kane would probably be close to the top of my list. I'd probably captain Haaland. I think people forget how good Haaland is. So if I was captain a single game week player, it would probably be Haaland. Captain March or Tony? I'd put Tony just about ahead just for the penalties. And I know penalties are difficult to predict, and in 2 fixtures, there's a very, very good chance he doesn't. But if he does, it's just such an added advantage, especially for Tony and McAllister, really, but mainly for Tony, because he's just so good at them as well, he doesn't miss. Did you watch Spurs midweek? Would not have scored if they were still playing now. I know, but it's Kane. Kane always finds a way to score. And I know he didn't, but I just think in the Prem, he always finds a way to score. Morning, Ross. I need your help. Do I transfer March to McAllister or just leave March in? I would leave March in. If so, who do I captain? Matoma. I would captain Tony or March or Matoma in that case, but I wouldn't be switching the Brighton mids around. I think keep the Brighton midfielders you've got and just hope that they do well. If March is fit, I think March will do very, very well this week. So Leeds and Crystal Palace concede all of their chances from their left flank. So where March features. So I think that March could do very, very well. I'm hoping that means that March will create loads of chances from that side and cut it back to McAllister, and McAllister will be the one converting the chances. Mr. Crunden says, thank you, Ross. You are brightening up my weekends with a love heart. What? Just how nice are people? Just a £5 super chat that just says, thank you for brightening up my weekend. You are more than welcome, and thank you for being here. You brighten my weekend by being kind. Doesn't the bonus midfielder points balance out the penalty advantage of a forward? Doesn't the bonus midfielder points balance? Yes, to some extent. Well, no, because a penalty goal and full bonus points is like it's an extra 7 points for a forward, whereas you only get an extra 1 point for a goal as a midfielder. So no, I don't think so, Alan. I think the penalties is a much bigger advantage than being a midfielder. However, if you can have someone like McAllister who's a midfielder and a penalty taker, then you've got the best of both. Chat is being so nice today as a departure from the bingo card. It really is, isn't it? Bailey is finally leaving my team. He survived 22 game weeks. Wow, that's loyalty. Harry, you are a loyal man. Mrs. Simpson is very lucky for such loyalty. Sorry, I'm like losing my voice. I spend all week talking. My job requires me to stand there and talk at quite a loud volume. I sit in front of my camera and talk and talk and talk. It's just constant talking. What's happened? No cap, late to the game. I just get my bald head out sometimes. Nothing wrong with it. I think you've got to embrace the baldness. Bald men. Bald is beautiful. Shaw or Trent? Long term, probably Luke Shaw. For this week, probably Trent. Is McAllister over March because of fitness issues? That's one of the reasons, yeah. Also, McAllister's got greater goal threat and he's on penalties. That was the main thing. How's the bingo going? I don't know. How is the bingo going? Is Yelena your girlfriend? Yes. Who is Yelena? Both of those have been many times. Jesus Christ. Whew. Stop calling me an egg. That happened. 5 ball jokes, definitely. Backhanded compliments from the chat, yeah. You missed my super chat, yeah. I love you, Frosty, yes. How's the dating going? Yep. 5 times Ross saying expected data, definitely. I reckon most of that's already happened. I haven't been taking note, but... No. I didn't say yes to Yelena, your girlfriend. Yelena's not my girlfriend. I said yes to the fact that it's been said. Don't clip that. Outrageous. Don't take that out of context. Triple Brighton if you have to take out Saka. No. I'd want Saka for 27 and 28 at the very least. I would have triple Brighton mids, Saka, Rashford. That would be my 5. Although that does leave you with only one midfielder, doesn't it, for Gameweek 28, which would be Saka. I don't hate it, though. You could play like a 5-2-3. Raptor, don't captain McAllister. You'll be out of the top 100k. You're just getting bingo because you're reading them out loud. I do have a bit of an advantage here that if I want to get bingo, I can just read out the ones that I want. Drinking game. Take a shot every time Ross says expected. Go. Every time I say expected, take a shot. João Felix or Watkins, who to start? Oh, that's a tricky one. I would start João Felix, just about. Is March injured? I don't know. He has been carrying an injury, but he's been playing through that injury. So, as far as I know, he'll be fine, but we'll see. McAllister has Irish roots, not Scottish. Yeah, he's Argentinian anyway, but it's a joke. It's like a standing joke on Twitter that he's Scottish. Is Mac 10 captain locked in? I think so. Drinking game, it's 5:19 in the morning here. 5:19. You're such a trooper being here, Claudette. I appreciate you. Do you not prefer Tony to McAllister for captaincy? I think they're the best 2 captaincy options in my opinion. So I think you can go with either. I think any of the double game week attackers are fine. You just pick whoever you fancy. Start Maddison, Martinelli, or Mings? Not Mings. Maybe just about Maddison. It would be Maddison or Martinelli. I think that's basically a coin flip. Go for whoever you fancy. That's like it's my go-to catchphrase. Go, trust your gut feeling. I've just had 2 buttered crumpets. I feel alive. I haven't had any food this morning. 0 food. Guys, I didn't play FPL last year. How good of an asset was Sadio Mane? Sadio Mane was actually a really good FPL asset, but he was just never as good as Salah. And the issue is they priced them very, very similarly. So as a result, Salah was just always the one to go for. And it never made sense to double up on them. But yeah, Mane has always been a really decent FPL option. I kind of miss Mane being in the Prem. I haven't had crumpets in about 5 or 6 years. Greg says, I'm captaining Jason Steele. Am I crazy? I don't think you're crazy. I think the Brighton clean sheet potential is higher than the Brentford one. If he gets like a 10 or 11 points, which we know keepers can, plus a couple of saves, you could be coming away with like a 13, 14 pointer. I don't hate it. I wouldn't do it in a million years, but I think I've only captained a keeper once, and it was Pope when he was playing at Burnley. And I think he got like 10 points. It was in a double game week. So I don't hate captain and keeper, but it's not for me probably. Should I sell Kane for Tony? Not for me, no. Is March's injury still a problem? I don't know, sadly. I wish I could give you an answer to that. I genuinely don't know. Thoughts on Dan Burn as a differential? I don't mind him at all. I think that when Fabian Schär and Target and everyone is there to potentially play centre-back or left-back, there is the small possibility that he misses a game, but I think Dan Burn's fine. I assume that's to pick and not as a captaincy option. Who to captain? Matoma, March, Tony. I'd probably go Tony there. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but that was a bingo one. There you go. Not to sound like a broken record, but I would like to captain someone on penalties whenever I can. It's not only penalty takers, but whenever I can, I like to. I have Matoma and March and want McAllister for one of them. I would just keep Matoma and March. I don't think you need to switch to McAllister. How long we got till the deadline? We have got just over 25 minutes. Oh God, quick maths. Just over 35 minutes until the deadline. So plenty of time, but make sure you've got it locked in nice and early. You don't want to be worrying too close to the deadline, really, do we? Bring back the wheel. The wheel. Who do we want on the Disc of Destiny? Is there anyone we want to see on the Disc of Destiny? I'm happy spinning it. FPL Harry is captaining Tony. What are your thoughts? FPL Harry, and I will tell him this to his face, is an absolute template merchant. So Harry will captain the most highly owned captain every week. So I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised in the slightest. This guy has a degree. Why are you saying it like that? I've got 2 degrees, almost a third. I've almost got 3 degrees. Why are you saying it like that? Like I shouldn't have a degree? Because I can't say certain words? That's not very nice. First season of FPL, and I'm currently 250k overall. How's it looking? That's an excellent first season, Gavin. You could still finish top 100k. That's very, very good. What are your thoughts on starting Chilwell this game week? I've got no issues with starting Chilwell. I think that Chelsea will concede, but he's been very, very attacking. Likes playing against his old team. You never know. Is March as captain being overlooked? Both opponents really poor from the left side where March plays. Is this overthinking it? No, not at all. I think March is definitely overlooked. I think both March and McAllister are being heavily overlooked for captaincy. Obviously, Tony and Matoma are the popular ones, which is fine. I think they're both good as well, but I think that Solly March is absolutely fine as captaincy option. What do we think about Trent? If you have Trent, I would play him this week. I don't know that I'd be looking to bring in Trent particularly. And if I was on a wild card, then I wouldn't have Trent either. But there are a lot of questions around Trent. I assume it's if you'd play him. I would play him against Bournemouth. I think that's a nice fixture. But it depends on the rest of your team, of course. Is Zaha injured? Not as far as I know. On my final year of economics right now, I wish you were my lecturer. I can barely understand mine. So many lecturers are really poor at like presenting. It's terrible. I don't know why. Like, you would think they would have practiced enough by now, but hey-ho. Will Erdegaard play? I don't know if Erdegaard will play. I don't have the latest on March. Unfortunately, I don't have any inside knowledge there. But if I see anything before the deadline, I'll let you know. But I've got a feeling it probably won't be coming. Chilwell or James or another defender? I prefer Chilwell to James. I think he looks a little bit fitter at the moment, less injury prone. James is ill for Gameweek 27 anyway. So I'd probably lean... Yeah, I would probably lean Chilwell. Ross shows his students the XG per 90 stats. Yep, underlying data. Absolutely every time. I can't tell what my lecturer is saying half the time. Yeah, lecturers don't really like enunciate their words particularly well. They're I'm not saying I'm a perfect presenter by any means, but there are some pretty poor presentational skills from lecturers. Will Haaland EO be under 100 this week? I think Haaland's EO will be just over 100, about 103% or something like that. It'd be nice if it finally is under 100. We can actually cheer on Haaland. Do you use underlying data to do you use underlying data to find your soulmate? Yeah. If she doesn't have the XG, then it's not worth it. Do you think Isak is a viable option for the future / right now? I don't dislike it. I just think there are some better options for me. But I'll keep an eye on him for sure. Do I bring in McAllister for March? I would just keep Solly March personally. Hi Ross, start Saka or Martinelli? I would start Saka. I think I know the answer is you have Mac 10 as captain, but do you think triple captain Tony is wise? I think Tony and McAllister is literally a 50-50. And to be honest, the smart play is probably Tony captain because he tends to be more consistent with his returns and he's involved in a high percentage of Brentford's goals. But I've just got a bit of a feeling about the Brighton midfielders, and so I'm going to go for Mac 10. Mrs. FPLB has just returned home with cookies. I really have hit the jackpot with her. She seems perfect, Marcus. She seems absolutely perfect. I would love a cookie right now. That's a shame. Are you free hitting in Game Week 28? No, I'm free hitting in Game Week 32. Game Week 32 free hit for me. How cool is Mac 10? Mac 10's the coolest name for McAllister. We're going to be screaming, Mac 10 with the hat trick. Can't wait. When will you bench boost? So my current plan, I've already wildcarded, so I've got left bench boost and free hit. I've already triple captain. So my plan is bench boost in Game Week 29 and free hit in Game Week 32. A good XG might not be great when it comes to women. Too many balls in the net isn't what you want. Interesting. So what we want is a low XG. Didn't think about it like that. Okay. Maybe I'll change my research methods. Interesting. What are your plans for Game Week 28 once again? So going into Game Week 28, I've got... Let me show you. So 27, my team's like this. 28, I've got one free transfer. The plan is to do Haaland to someone like João Felix, Iheanacho, Watkins, Brennan Johnson, maybe Isak, something like that as my striker, which will give me 10 players in Game Week 28. And I'll probably captain Harry Kane. So that's the current plan. That's the current team. And then in 29, I don't know what the current plan is at the moment, but it will be a bench boost of some kind. So that's the plan. 28, 10 players. 29, about 13 doublers and a bench boost. And then the free hit will be played in Game Week 32. The reason for that, if we switch, it's this one here. And then it's this. Here's Ben Crellin's schedule here. Game week 32 is likely to be a blank for Brighton, Chelsea, Man City, and Manchester United. I'll have Haaland, probably Bruno, Shaw, Rashford, 3 Brighton assets, and maybe João Felix. I'm probably going to have 8 players that blank in game week 32. So for me, a free hit in game week 32 makes a lot more sense than a free hit in game week 28. And then actually my team is already going to be well set up for game week 34 and 37 because I'm going to have Brighton, Chelsea, Man United, Newcastle assets. So I feel like I've set my team up to be fine for the doubles in 34 and 37, but my team is probably going to struggle in game week 32. So free hit in 32 at the moment is the current plan. I only have a wild card left and I've chosen not to use it today. When would you recommend I use it? I would use it in game week 28 or game week 29, depending how your team looks for game week 28. What lowers your team value / bank? If players go down in price or if you sell a player that you had money tied up in, is essentially how your money will go down. Are you confirmed on captaincy? Sorry, I joined the stream late. Yeah, I think so. Why Saka over Botman? He's almost guaranteed a clean sheet. He is very likely to get a clean sheet, Botman. I don't think he's guaranteed at all, and I just think that a clean sheet's only 6 points, right? With appearance. I feel like Saka's got a lot more in him. I always try and go for the higher upside players. €6.66. Short-term punt, Weghorst, Mbeumo, or Felix for game week 27 to 31. Already have Tony. I'd go Felix. João Felix. I feel like I should tweet out my team. Oh. McAllister or Salah? What, for captaincy? Or just McAllister in general? McAllister's fantastic. What was I doing, chat? I was tweeting my team. I'm just going to keep it nice and simple, the tweet today. Is the team all set up the way I want it to be? Yes. Right, that means I can't change my team. Once you tweet something, you can't change it. That is a known fact. Captain Matoma or March? I think that's probably the closest. I feel like McAllister and Tony for me are ahead, and then it's Matoma and March. But I feel like all 4 of them are fantastic options. I don't think you can go particularly wrong with any of them. You know what I'm going to say, chat. You know what I'm going to say. Go like. Go like this tweet and make me feel loved. Go boost my ego. Follow me over on Twitter. All of the above. All of the above. Do you know what else I'm going to say as well? Where is it? I don't know. I'll do it in a second. The FPL Raptor bingo is cracking me up so much. One second. There are so many of the same questions. I feel bad repeatedly answering the same questions, but I think Tony is also a fantastic captaincy option, and I have no doubt that he will do very well and could potentially outscore McAllister, Matoma, March. So, yeah. Go follow... Sorry, I was just getting my Instagram link. Go follow my Instagram as well. I really would like more followers on Instagram. I'm not very popular on Instagram, so go follow the Instagram as well. It's just been linked in the chat. Any updates on Erdegaard? Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen, sadly. But it would be nice to get one, wouldn't it, for those of you that are looking to potentially start him? Read the comments on Twitter. Why? Are they nice? They better be nice. These are great. These boost the ego every single time. Bald is beautiful. Like it to make you feel loved. Baldy beauty. Love you, Daddy Raptor. Daddy Raptor, that's been a while, hasn't it? Bingo. Oh, Calvin. Have I actually done all of those already? My God. Right, sorry, let's get back to FPL. You're not here for this nonsense. You're here for FPL chat. Yeah, Daddy Raptor has been a while. Is the Brighton game postponed? No, not as far as I know, unless I've missed something. What is the best feeling you can get out of FPL? This is going to sound incredibly soppy and cringy. The best feeling I get out of FPL is when I give good advice and I can genuinely see that my content has positively contributed to other people's seasons. That's going to sound like a massive lie, but that genuinely is the best feeling for me. It's so nice coming back to like a stream or a video and someone's like, you gave me this advice and I got a green arrow. I'm like, that makes me so happy. There we go. On wildcard, 3 premium with Cash and Martinelli, or cut down 1 premium, either Haaland to Watkins. I would, if I were on a wildcard, I would have Kane and Haaland. I wouldn't have Salah, and I would drop Haaland next week. So I would only have 2 premiums probably. But I don't mind the 3 premium drafts at all. I don't need any advice this week, but you've helped me loads this season. Just wanted to say I appreciate the work you do, you bald, beautiful man. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat and for the kind words. I appreciate you more than you know, and that's very, very positive. You've been giving me advice all season, and it's been red after red. Complete waste of my time, 0 out of 5 stars. You look like Eric Ten Hag. Eric Seven Hag. Someone just said I look like Eric Seven Hag. Oh, I like that one a lot. Thanks. I'll take it. Eric Ten Hag's beautiful. I was part of last week's wildcard bloodbath. What are your thoughts on Darwin for Haaland? Need to sell either next game week in any case. Already have 10 for next game week. What are your thoughts? I would just keep Haaland personally. I think Haaland against Palace is absolutely fine. I think people are forgetting how good Haaland is. What was your previous season rank? I finished last season 35k. So my rank at the moment is very close to where I finished last season. $35k or was it 32k? I think it was 35k. Good morning from Boston. Currently on Tony as captain. Should I be switching to March or Matoma? Concerned that Tony's fixtures are both away. I think I prefer Tony to March and Matoma just about. When are you bench boosting? I'm bench boosting in Game Week 29. Mac 10, yeah, Mac 10 captain. We're going for it. You said you prefer Tony. Yeah, I probably do. I'd probably do prefer Tony to March and Matoma. Are you getting Watkins next week? I'll probably be getting one of Watkins or João Felix, the 2 that I'm probably going to get next week. One of the 2, I should say. You missed my super chat. Oof. Did I? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Just one of those trolls that say I did. Bingo. Oh, we playing bingo. I don't know if people are playing bingo or not. You missed my super chat was on the bingo. Thank you for the advice. You're a scholar and a gentleman. I appreciate you so much. What lovely people. Imagine doing a super chat just to say something nice. Not even because you need advice. Oh, that rhymes. God, I'm like Eminem. You're about to captain a central midfielder. Change it quickly. Yeah, maybe. Are you not worried about McAllister playing deep? Slightly, but I don't know. We'll see. Got shouted at in the street saying that double week Nketiah suggestion was pants. I guess all bald men with beards are the same. I don't know if that's a joke or not. If it's not a joke, that's the funniest thing in the world. I can just imagine a bald guy with a beard getting attacked for giving out terrible FPL advice. That's excellent. I am yet to have anyone in person have a go at me for my advice. Everyone in person is always very kind to me. I checked out your Instagram. You won a kick-up competition. I did at Fantasy Football Fest. You know how it is. Have I still got the link copied? There you go. Another request to go follow my Instagram. Raptor Daddy saving our ranks. I do try. I do try. Start Kane or Martinelli. I would start Kane. I still don't have news on Ødegaard. I'm really, really sorry. I wish I did. Did you say there was some doubt about March playing? I think it's very small. Basically, he's been carrying a niggle for a while now. About at least 2 or 3 weeks in his ankle. And there were a few questions around it in the press conference. And De Zerbi basically said he's on the list. But he wasn't pictured in training on Tuesday. So I don't know. I don't think he's a doubt, but you just never know fully. And will he get his minutes managed slightly in the double game week? Potentially. Would you sell Bowen for an extra Brighton mid? Or do White to Estepinian? I would sell Bowen for an extra Brighton mid, I think. Hi, Ross. I think you missed my earlier super chat. I really apologise, Nikki. Do you think I should start Foden or Ødegaard for a -4 for a Brighton, or take a -4 for a Brighton mid? Keep up the great content. If you are going to captain that extra Brighton mid, I'd be tempted. But if you already feel like you're happy with your captaincy choice, maybe just start Foden. I think Foden will start, and he's been playing relatively well recently. I don't know. I am a bit of a sucker for a double, so I feel like I would probably be tempted to do Ødegaard. I'd actually probably do Foden, because Ødegaard's got a fixture next week. I'd probably do Foden to a Brighton mid for a -4. But if you want to start Foden, I have no issue with that. And especially if you've already got your captaincy sorted. 3 Brentford, 2 Brighton, no free hit left. Haaland to Ferguson or Martinelli to McAllister, or just roll. I don't like any forwards game at 28 to 29. So many more options in midfield. I would do Martinelli to McAllister, personally. But that's because that's the exact transfer that I did, Russell. So I'm always going to lean that way. What are your thoughts on Mbeumo? Mbeumo's stats are actually all right. Oh, that one there. Wait, you're captaining McAllister? No, I've been fighting a dilemma all morning of Tony versus McAllister. Wait, Yelena, you have McAllister now. Where did McAllister come from? When did you transfer in McAllister? You told me you were doing Matoma. If you've got McAllister, we should captain him together. Absolutely. When can I grab that lovely bald head of yours? You can grab it anytime you want, Gavin. Whenever you want. But to answer all of the questions, yes, I am captaining McAllister. Don't copy Ross if you've seen his performance post-World Cup. I went for McAllister over Matoma. Stats never lie. The stats do lie. This is the issue. The stats do lie. I really, really hope Matoma doesn't smash it. I take no responsibility if Matoma smashes it. When you wear the top front, you look like Klopp. I don't even know what that sentence means. Can I shine your bald head? Sure. What is your star sign? I'm an Aries. What are all these questions? The deadline's in 15 minutes. My Is anyone actually going to ask an FPL question? Here we go. Here's some FPL questions. No, there aren't. They're just statements. Best Brighton midfielder. None of them. Probably Visser, but I don't really like any of them particularly. And Burmo, Tony, and the defenders are the only the Brentford assets I would own. Do you use underlying data to find your soulmate? Yes. We spoke about this earlier. She needs to have a low XG. Is Estepinian captaincy okay? I don't mind that at all. Go for it if you fancy it. I wake up at 4 a.m. to watch your stream. Love your content, bro. And I love you for doing that. Thank you for being here. Would you start Felix as a punt over Saka? I still feel like I would start Saka, but if you feel like Felix could do well, I really do like the look of Felix. At the moment, I'm probably bringing in Felix next week for Haaland. It could be Watkins, to be fair, but I really do like Felix. What deodorant do you use? What are these questions? Have you ever had a shower beer? Do people know that the deadline's not passed yet? Wait until after the deadline and I'll answer some of these questions. Any late news on March? So I've got no news on March and I've got no news on Erdegaard, sadly, which is quite frustrating because it would have been nice to get some news there. Still not seen anything. Frustratingly. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're going to get any news, sadly, on that stuff. If you've still got your wildcard, when should you be using it? So if you're not using it this week, I think Gameweek 28 is quite nice if you've got your bench boost, because you can wildcard 28, bench boost 29. If you haven't got your bench boost and your team looks okay for next week, you could, of course, just wildcard in 29 instead, which is directly into the big double, which is nice because there's an international break between Gameweek 28 and Gameweek 29. So if you do hold off and you don't need the wildcard in 28, playing it in 29 could be nice because you can obviously deal with anything that happens over the international break. So it really depends on when you want to play that bench boost. I know a lot of people will be deciding whether to wildcard or not like this coming week. Shaw or Trippier for this week? I would still go Trippier just about. Hey Raptor, start Alisson or Raya. Liverpool 5 clean sheets in a row. Raya double, of course, is almost irresistible. I would start Raya. A much higher ceiling. I don't think Bournemouth will get that many shots. So I think Alisson's probably a 6 or 7 point max. Raya has potential to obviously get a massive score. I would always back the player with a higher ceiling usually when I'm choosing. And I think Raya's that guy. Right. What are these questions? If you had a midget on your back, would you leave them on or toss them off? Like, there's such a disgusting double there in like innuendo. And also, why would I have anyone on my back? Like, what is that question? That is such an 18 plus rated weird question. Yeah, I'm getting to the super chats, don't worry. Right, I found it. Wildcard 27 and bench boost 29 with 14 doublers and Saka. Forwards of Ollie Watkins, Tony Kane. Will it be wise to move Kane to Nacho and play Chilwell this week? Move Kane to Nacho and play Chilwell this week. Or stick with Kane and bench boost 29 with 13. I would just go with Kane. I think Kane's fine to bench boost with and he's got really nice fixtures in and around it. I would probably go Kane. It was such a weird question. Yeah, double entendre was the word I was looking for. I guess it was a double innuendo. Not innuendo. It was. You know. I would double it and give it to the next person. Good answer. Did you say there was some doubt about March playing? Potentially. I don't know. He's been carrying... There's no new information. He's been carrying a knock for a while. and he came off early in 26, and apparently he wasn't in training on Tuesday, but we don't know why that was the case. So nothing concrete, and apparently De Zerbi said he's in the squad for Gameweek 27, so, or for the Leeds game. So I see no issue, but there was slight doubt, which is what put me off. One of the things that put me off. Matoma or Tony captain? I prefer Tony. Why not captain Matoma? Matoma's just got the worst data of the four double gaming attackers. Loud bikes today. Oscar's using his bench boost. I love it. Yeah, Oscar's using his bench boost and he's captaining Solly March. I think he was messaging us this morning. I think he's just trying to do something because he's had such a horrid season, but it's not necessarily his fault. He's been very unlucky. So yeah, he's playing the bench boost and going for a differential cap. In Raptor we trust. I wouldn't. I wouldn't trust me at all. I've been terrible lately at FPL. I've been having an absolute nightmare. Is Emerson Royale starting? I would think so, but you never know. This is the issue with the Spurs wingbacks, fullbacks. Bench boost took Oscar to number 1 last year. It did. It did. He played the bench boost in it was like Gameweek 13 or something like that. Raptor, my sister fancies you. We have this every... Sorry, I'm not sure about that. Did you just hear my ALEXA just start speaking to me? If your sister fancies me and she is over 18, because the last person said that their sister fancied me, I was like, oh, that's great. And then their sister was 12. So... You know, I'm not going to say anything until I know. Why does my gut tell me that Maddison is outscoring all of the mids on your screen? I think that is probably going to happen. I'm feeling like a Maddison 15 or 16 pointer. I did consider very briefly starting Maddison ahead of Saka, but it's not going to happen. Has someone won the bingo already? I'm pretty sure everything on the bingo card has come up. It makes me laugh every time I look at that bingo card. It's just every time I notice something which just gets funnier. So, what is your second chance rank? Are you ready to see my second chance rank? Where's my second chance rank? My second chance rank is 1.5 million. So since Game Week 17, I'm ranked at 1.5 million. I've had a shocking time. Absolutely. Look at all of those red arrows. God. Oh. It's not good. It's not good. We're going to ignore all of that. Thank God I had a good start to the season. Imagine if I didn't have a good start to the season as well. Start Martinelli or Kane, says Andrew. Martinelli might start a striker and Spurs in poor form. Could. I would still start Kane personally. Can you predict the effective ownership of Brighton assets? Yeah, Matoma will be about 70 to 80%, and I think March and McAllister will be about sort of 20 to 40%. So Matoma's going to be the only one that's sort of pushing towards 100, I think. Start Ødegaard or Martinelli? I would start Martinelli, probably. Guys, don't take advice from someone who's 1.5 million in rank. Well, I'm not. I'm 41k in rank. All right, I'm 41k. I've had a bit of a bad restart since the World Cup. Right, you've got 5 minutes until the deadline. 5 minutes until the deadline. I don't want to panic anyone, but 5 minutes until the deadline. Am I all set? Is there anything I want to change in my team? I can't believe, if you'd have told me at the start of the season that I would be captaining McAllister ahead of Saka, Kane, Haaland, Tony, I would not have believed you. Right, what are your last minute decisions, I should say? What are your last minute things that you're thinking about? FPL Harry sent us, FPL Harry Raid. Welcome, and thank you very much to FPL Harry for sending everyone across. I hope you enjoyed his stream. Harry's absolutely killing it in FPL. He always does. Quite easily the best FPL manager on FPL YouTube. Get rid of Salah for Kane to get... Oh, that went quickly. Get rid of Salah for Kane to get Salah back later. Get rid of Salah for Kane to get Salah back later. Why would you want Salah back later? I would just keep Salah for now. I don't think you need Kane this week. I'd keep I would keep Salah, and then in 28 you can decide if you want to remove him. I have my triple captain still available. Would you use it on Rashford in Gameweek 29 or keep it a bit longer for another triple captain? I'd be tempted by Rashford in 29. Let's see how Manchester United do over the next couple of games. But yeah, I would be tempted. Let's see what happens over the international break too. Maybe keep it. We'll see. I think you don't need to decide that right now, Flappadoodle. There you go. Frosty has just put FPL Harry's YouTube channel in the chat. So make sure to go subscribe to Harry if you haven't. Very, very good content. He's almost at 50,000 subscribers. So it'd be great to help Harry get to 50k. Oh, camera's gone. There. Sorry, I just coughed down the microphone as well. The camera lasted 1 hour and 58 minutes. Remarkable. Remarkable. Rest in peace, Baldy. I know. It happened. Which two would you pick out of Haaland, Salah, Saka? Oh, all three are penalty takers as well. I hate that. I would probably pick Haaland and Salah. Start Ødegaard or Maddison? I would... I would start Maddison. Camera lasts longer than I do, just about. Well done, Marcus. Well done, Marcus. John Cena on Raptors stream. You've frozen on my screen, pal. I've just reset my camera. Hopefully it'll be back in a second. So, how many points is McAllister scoring this game week, and why is the answer 30? How many points is McAllister scoring, and why is the answer 30? McAllister or March on a wild card? I think they're both fine. I think you choose who you fancy, but I would just about lean McAllister, which is why I've brought McAllister in. But I don't think there's a massive amount to separate them. Is the camera going to work, or does it need resetting again? Yay. Raptors practicing for match of the day. Yep, I'm on match of the day this evening. I'm replacing Lineker. I'm not really. I stand with those that have chosen not to. And I decided to reject the invitation. I hope March doesn't do a disappearing act like Raptor. Yaya Sanogo triple captain, I think so. Nice, Josh. That's a little niche shout out. Captain Tony. If you want to Captain Tony, go for it. You've got 2 minutes until the deadline. Get those teams locked in. Don't leave it late. Let me just refresh and make sure that I am set. This team should do well on paper. It just depends how well Solly March does. And it depends how well the other Brentford defenders do. And obviously Tony as well. It's really going to come down to captaincy this week, which I hate. I hate it when it comes down to captaincy. Donny van der Beek captaincy, I don't mind it. Someone dropped the GoFundMe link for Ross's new camera. Just sign up to my OnlyFans. If you sign up to my OnlyFans, I'll be able to afford a new camera. Should I switch March to Matoma? I would keep your Brighton assets. Don't switch your Brighton assets around personally, in my opinion. Whoever you've got, just keep them. Rashford or Bruno? Rashford still. Salah hat-trick incoming. I have no doubt in my mind that Salah will do well this week. By the time you hear my voice, the deadline is probably here. Get those teams locked in. Get those teams locked in. There is the deadline. We are done. I would pay £73.61 for Raptors OnlyFans. Do you oil your head on the OnlyFans? Here is the chat that we are here for. The post-deadline chat. Well done for making it to Game Week 27. If you are going to leave now, don't leave now because I carry on streaming for about another half hour to an hour. But if you do leave now, subscribe on the way out and drop a like on the way out. Just before you leave the stream, just like, subscribe, and then you can leave. But don't leave. Don't leave. Don't do that. Don't be that person. FPL Harry said hello. Hello, FPL Harry. Here's where things get odd. Do they get odd, Marcus, or do they get Interesting. I haven't even got a beard to stroke anymore. It's horrible. I would turn gay for you, Raptor. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. I'll consider that offer. Now the juicy stuff starts, Ross. Now the juicy stuff does start. What happened with Yelena after the YouTube video? She got the train home. Ooh. Nothing happened after the video, for goodness sake. I can't lie, I think I might need a therapist. Gavin, is that a like comment, or are you saying you actually... If you actually need someone to talk to, Gavin, then please do drop me a DM. If you are just joking, then continue as you were. Beard setting 3 is straight fire, Ross. This is beard setting... Yeah, this is beard setting 3. What do we think? It might be 4 by now. I'm usually on a 7. What's for dinner? Chicken and rice. I'm so boring. That's what happens when you go to the gym. You just have things like chicken and rice. Ross, what is happening with the F1 content? I would absolutely love. I haven't really decided. So, Yelena and I... Yelena... I can't even say her name. Yelena and I are both big into F1. So, we were talking about the possibility of doing some content together at some point. But I don't know when, and I don't know what kind of content. It might be on Twitch. So we spoke about the possibility of... Let me know, chat. If we started a Twitch channel where we streamed about various stuff, including F1, would you watch? So, yeah, we might... There might be F1 content, but it won't be for a while, I don't think. No, you're meant to say I'm getting pizza tonight. But I'm not getting pizza tonight, Frosty. So I can't say that. I guess I have said that now. Okay, people are on board with the Twitch idea. Let me tell her. Yelena, people are very much on board with the Twitch idea. So we need to start a Twitch channel. F1. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it could be like, it'll be maybe like predominantly focused around F1, but then also doing other weird stuff as well. Because we're strange. Oh, there she is. I've just sent you a voice note. Ignore the voice note. Ignore the voice note. Do a poll. Right, I'll answer all of these questions in one swift motion. Yelena and I are best friends. We are not dating, and we have never been dating. There you go. There is, in one swift answer, all of the questions in the chat. We are just best friends. Again, I think Yelena's answer was like, his rank was just too impressive. When I asked her, she was like, your rank's just too impressive. I can't stand that. There we go. You can subscribe to limit the ads. Yeah, on Twitch. Yeah, you can. If you have the premium, then you can, I think. You really don't help the rumors, do you? Listen, if I was best friends, like I'm best friends as well with like, well, not I'm best friends. My best friend is Yelena, but I'm friends with Oscar and Harry as well. No one says anything there. So... Right, I'm just ignoring all the other stuff in this chat. I like your new wig. I'm going to buy a blonde wig at some point. I look really good in a wig. Don't ask me how I know that. Don't ask me how I know that, but I know. Strip F1 every race Verstappen wins. I like that. How about doing a shot every time Will Buxton says something really, really simple? I was going to try and do a Will Buxton impression. Why you keep talking to me, Alexa? No, not Alexa. Cancel. Alexa, get in the bin. Oh, I feel bad now. I was really rude to her. I was really rude to her. I'm sorry. Yeah, every time Will Buxton says something, if you're at the start of the race, then you will probably win the race. My mate who's on a dating app started asking ladies about XG, no responses. It's the way that you deliver those punchlines, you know? Is Yelena taller than you? Yeah, Yelena's... Yelena's 6'5". She's humongous. Really tall. A Fellaini wig. A Fellaini wig would look good, wouldn't it? Are you two going to carry on doing videos every week? I won't be on her channel every week, no. Bless her. She probably doesn't want my face on her channel every week. But she is going to continue to do those videos, for sure. Do you cry when your FPL rank goes south? I genuinely don't care. Wait, is she actually 6'5"? No, she's 5'6", I think. I think she's 5'6", about 5'5", 5'6". When is the deadline? The deadline is 6 minutes ago. You've missed the deadline, sadly. No, I don't have... Do you have anything on underneath? No, I don't have anything on underneath this. It's just me underneath this. Raptor, are you tall? I'm about 5'10", just under 5'10". Just over 5'9", just under 5'10". Let's say 5. I'm 5'10". Sure. Top off, top off. Dun, dun, dun. No. Liverpool 9-0 and Salah 3 points again. I would love that. Well, I wouldn't want Liverpool winning 9-0, but I would love a Salah 3-pointer. What colour is your Bugatti? I've got a Bugatti. Are you calling me Andrew Tate? Just round it up to 6'1". Oh, you might as well. Yeah, I'm 6'1". I'm 1.77. I guess that's close to 5. I think I'm 179, which is probably just over 5'9", to be fair. How many inches are your biceps? This is my bicep. Oh, no, that doesn't work. You are the FPL Andrew Tate. Do you mean that in a good way? I don't know. Would you put Botman first sub? You've missed the deadline, Chris. It's too late now. 179 is close to 5'11", is it? I think, no, 1.79 is like 5'9", isn't it? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm massive. Maybe I'm insanely tall. Who knows? What's your stance on Top G? I'm not going to talk about Top G in this stream. Oh, okay. Well, I'm 5'10" then. In that case, I'm 5'10". Oh my God, your streams are so fun, Ross. I appreciate that, Ace. Thank you. How big are your hands? About as big as my massive... My hands are average size. Do you remember in school? I don't know if this was just my era of school. You used to say to people... It's not even funny. It's very childish. You used to say to people, is your hand bigger than your face? And then people would do that and you'd slap their hand. Did anyone used to do that? Maybe just me? My hands are a normal size. I've got massive hands, massive feet, and a massive bald head. You don't look tall. I am tall. Raptor, when do I get your number? Should I just give out my number to everyone on the stream right now? No, I'm an introvert. I don't really like messaging people. I message like 2 people throughout my life. I don't like speaking to people. I say that while speaking to over 2,000 people, but I'm a bit of an introvert. Ross has got the Nottingham lassies craning their necks up to look at this lovely face. Not had much luck in Nottingham yet. Who knows? Maybe one day. Rossiter, can I come to one of your lectures? Maybe I'll live stream one of my lectures. Ross, what is your MBTI? Let me see. Let me sex? That was a Freudian slip. I meant to say let me check, and I just said let me sex. We could sex as well, but I meant to say let me check. I've written it down somewhere. Let me sex. I need to play like some backing music. Wow, wow. My ISFJ. ISFJ. Ross, do you have a Tinder account? I do. Do you want to see my Tinder account? It's me. It's Ross. There's some nice pictures on there. There's my Tinder account. What is ISFJ? It's the Myers-Briggs index. It gives you a bit of an idea about your personality. I've got a football picture on there as well. Oh, the green screen's going to ruin that. Why is everyone laughing about the 25? Ross, have you got an OnlyFans? Show us your OnlyFans. Yeah, 1 second. Here's my OnlyFans. 2 seconds. I'd love to see how many people would actually sign up to that. Most of it would be for a joke. Here you go. There's my OnlyFans. There you go. Should just be loads of back pictures, to be fair. Oh, I'm proud of that picture. That was perfect lighting. That was impeccable lighting. No, I don't have an OnlyFans. Oh. Just my talking to all of my different devices. I swear that you're that guy I always see on the hub. Well, Fantasy Football Hub, yes. Not the other hub, no. Ross, I'm ISFJ as well. I think that's why I always relate to you. Oh, amazing. I've never met another ISFJ. Can I have that in HD? No. That's getting leaked on Reddit now. No one take any screenshots of that. That's why I showed you quickly. You didn't put that picture on your dating app, did you? There are no topless pictures on my dating app, no. Girls apparently don't like it. Girls don't like it when you put topless pictures on dating apps. I've been informed anyway. So if you are a man with topless pictures on your dating app, then get rid of them. On a Josh makes me laugh. Josh has just said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your favorite color in the alphabet? I'm going to try and answer this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your favorite color in the alphabet? I think the answer to that question is red. Don't ask me why. What a question. I'm not asking for your opinion. Okay, but can we have a poll? Are you watching Match of the Day tonight? Yeah, we can run a poll. Are you watching Match of the Day? You have to remember that not everyone's in the UK as well. Only like 30% of my viewers are the UK, so it's going to be largely no. Actually, yes, no. Not in the UK. I've added that as an option. So if you wouldn't watch Match of the Day anyway because you're not in the UK and you're not going to watch BBC, then obviously vote for that one. If obviously if you're in the UK, you can vote yes or no. Super chat. Have you ever watched Hibs fans singing Sunshine on Leith? If you haven't, please go watch the 2016 Cup final and I guarantee you get goosebumps. Let me make a note to do that. Okay. Right, I've made a note. I won't do it live on stream, but I will go and watch that for you before the next stream. What is match of the day? They basically do highlights of the games with Gary Lineker, Ian Wright, and Alan Shearer. It's on the BBC. I love this post-deadline stuff. Can't stop laughing. Thank you, Cameron. I appreciate that. I find it strange that people would actually laugh along with me. But if you do laugh during these streams, then that's perfect. I want to try and make people happy. Thanks for sending people over to my stream, Ross. Someone commented saying you sent them over. No worries, mate. You're smashing it. You're making really, really good content. You're more than welcome. You deserve all of the views and more. What does BBC mean? In what context? In what context? I don't really laugh. I'm just admiring your sexy face. Shall I try and... I'm going to be serious. I smile too much, really, don't I? I'm not going to smile for the next minute. British Broadcasting Corporation is the BBC. I'm going to have a very serious minute of this live stream. I'm not going to be energetic and I'm not going to smile. Big Boy Candy. Big Black Car. Big Bald Creator. You can't look serious wearing an oversized lavender jumper. I've not failed miserably already. My mouth just is struggling a little bit. You look so awkward not smiling. Yeah, I know. It's tough. How do people go through extended periods of the day where they're just like miserable? It's not nice. I want to try and make everyone smile. Mr. Crondon, Gary Lineker is a legend, but he has the most cushy job of all time. Difficult one. He does have a great job, but I'm not going to get into it in this stream. But yeah, generally speaking, being a pundit of any kind, especially Lineker's job for the BBC, is generally a good job. But obviously, all of this coming out isn't. There are pros and cons. Bish bash bosh. Bish bash bosh. Not going to lie, Ross, the entertainment factor in this stream is pretty low. The only bright thing going for you is your shiny head. That was a rare double insult. That was a rare comment where you've actually nailed me twice there. Not oh, hello. No, nailed the words where you've insulted me twice. You've insulted the entertainment and you've insulted my shiny head. You look like Johnny Sins. I don't look like Johnny Sins. I mean, who's Johnny Sins? There's a fly in my mouth. Oh, I'm just mad. I'm just laughing by myself, loving life. How well do you think you understand women? Let me tell you. Whew. I'm a ladies' man. I understand women very well. What questions do you have around women? And I shall answer them. Have you got any tattoos? Maybe a butterfly or something? Do I look like I would have is it the purple? Do I need to take this off? Is that what people are asking? The purple's not doing it for them. I won't wear purple ever again. You look like a Shakespearean Johnny Sins. Okay. If you don't know who Johnny Sins is, don't Google Johnny Sins. Whatever you do, don't Google that if you don't know who that is. Is having a shiny head an insult? That's a great question. I assume so. I assume so. Oh, I just got really dizzy then. Do you prefer blondes or brunettes? That's a funny question. Brunette. I would usually say brunette. Mrs. FPLB says, I don't have to understand women, I just have to understand my woman. I like that. I like that a lot. Yelena's in tears. Yelena's crying right now. Yelena's fuming. Yelena's not fuming because she's my friend, but I generally prefer brunettes. However, my ex, I was with someone for 6 years, from 18 to 24. She was blonde as well. So maybe I do have a thing for blondes. Maybe I just don't realize, but your head's gone, mate. My head always goes post deadline. I'm very hungry, and I've been strict. People don't realize as well, unless you've actually spoken for 2.5 hours non-stop, it's tiring. It's very tiring. So by the end, I get very delirious, and my ADHD kicks in. Oh God, what time is this? I need to send it to 2:24. Oh, someone just said. Wait, I need to focus myself. Where did that comment go? Oh, I've lost the comment. That was the funniest comment. There it is. Yelena's in super drug buying hair dye. Oh, I just snorted. Oh, you are deliberately answering the opposite of what's true. No, I'm sweating. I'm sweating now. Nice one, chat. It's hot in this. Guys, I just Googled Johnny Sins. When Ross says do not Google it, don't do it. Yeah, don't do it. This is quite something. I thought you'd go for baldies. What? No, I'm bald. I don't go for baldies myself. You said your previous exes were blonde. Yeah, I think I prefer brunettes, but I tend to end up liking blonde people. I don't know why. So maybe I do prefer blondes. I don't really care. It doesn't bother me what colour's hair someone is. It doesn't bother me what their hair looks like, to be honest. That's not important to me. Oh, Yelena, have you not been in the chat? Right, just run it back 5 minutes. No, run it back like 3 minutes. It's the funniest thing that I've ever seen in my life. Oh, God. Oh, I just punched the microphone. I'm sorry. Oh, this stream has been quite something. You've got good head. I think you mean a good head. A good head. A is very important there. Yeah, I said I preferred brunettes. That's all you missed pretty much related to you. There's been some other stuff, but you don't. It doesn't matter. Ben, why are you grassing me up? Does Yelena know who Johnny Sins is? Yelena, do you know who Johnny Sins is? She's going to say she doesn't. Ross is currently shaking right now. I'm not. I'm just very hungry and I'm delirious. How is Drive to Survive going? I finished Drive. I'm loving F1. Like, I'm an absolute F1 nerd at the moment. I watched a video on tire degradation the other day. Like, I'm getting big into F1. I'm finding it very, very interesting. Ross, I have commitment issues, just to let you know. Is that okay with you? Josh, I'm willing to be patient with you. If you've got commitment issues, we'll take it slow. I've got all the time in the world. All right? Don't you worry. Ross said you were a giant. Yeah, I did say that you were 6'5". I apologize. She's actually only 6'1". I'm loving F1 also, Ross. Going to Silverstone this year. Oh, I would love to go to some sort of F1 Grand Prix. If anyone has any connections, hit me up if you can get me tickets. Do you watch Tomo F1 or any of the other F1 YouTubers? I watch, yes. Oh, God, I've gone really delirious. My head's gone. Raptor, did you finish The Walking Dead? I didn't, sadly. Do you get stopped in the street for selfies? I have done it quite a few times, but it's not like every time I go out, I get stopped for a selfie, no. Ross, you are my favourite bald homosexual FPL YouTuber. Why are we assuming my sexual preference here? But thank you for saying that I'm your favourite YouTuber. Is it the lavender? I feel like the lavender jump hasn't gone down well. In the future, I will just wear a black t-shirt. I hope you're happy. I'm going to take it off now. Chicken Run or Stuart Little? That's a good question. I'm going to go Stuart Little. Which F1 team do you support? Probably Ferrari, but I don't really have... I prefer like supporting drivers rather than the constructors. Keep the lavender. Okay, some people like the lavender. I put Yelena's hair on top of Ross's head, selling to the highest bidder. What a picture! Oh, if someone's cropped me with a blonde wig, I'd absolutely have that picture. I'd look great with blonde, long hair. Yeah, I love Charles Leclerc. If you don't love Charles Leclerc, then there's something wrong with you. He's just absolutely perfect. He's a perfect specimen. What size t-shirts do you wear, Ross? I'm in between sizes. Mediums are a little bit tight around the old shoulders and breasts, but large is a little bit baggy, so I'll switch between medium and large. Remember, Ross, if you like a girl, you've got to let her know. Is that true? I'll bear that in mind. You said breasts. Yes, like a chicken breast. Oh, I'm so hungry. Oh, these questions. What is my waist size? I don't know. How many points do you think your FPL team will score? 105. Did you forget to brush your hair today, or did you do this on purpose? These questions are outrageous. Since when did you have breasts? I've had them for a while. They're quite big, juicy. Don't know what this chat's descended into. Oh. Why the egg looks like you? What egg? How much would an NFT of a raptor with a blonde wig go for? I reckon a few hundred. Someone just said, just join the stream, WTF. Oh, that made me laugh. I'm just imagining someone trying to join an FPL stream, and I'm just sat there grabbing my chest saying that it's juicy. I really apologize. I really do apologize. I shouldn't be allowed to stream. I shouldn't be allowed to stream. You haven't apologized for saying you prefer brunettes. I shouldn't have to apologize for that. I don't really have a preference, to be perfectly honest. I'm happy with any and all haircuts and hair colors. There you go. Ross has got cake. I actually fancy cake. How old are you? I'm 25. Thoughts on Lando? Will he win a race this season and finish what finishing position overall? I think no, he won't win a race, and I think he'll finish. It depends if McLaren make modifications to the car, because at the moment they're going to struggle reliability wise. I think 10th for Lando would be a really good finish, I think. If you can get into the top 10, then awesome. I guess 10th is top 10. If you can get like 8th or 9th, that would be an excellent finish for him. But I'll go 10th. Why did you choose the name Raptor Ross? Ross is my name. I chose Raptor because I support Toronto Raptors. Hot tub live stream. Should I do a hot tub live stream? Would anyone watch that? I don't think so. Liverpool lineups are out. Oh, today has been quite something, chat, hasn't it? I can't be. We'll read all that a bit later. What was I doing? We'll go Liverpool. We'll go for the Liverpool lineups first. Yeah, why not? I think it was just Darwin, Trent, and Salah, wasn't it? People wanted to know. Darwin, Trent, Salah, Robertson, Gakpo. Pretty much every one that you could possibly own starts. Apart from Matip. Matip doesn't start. Kanate starts. But I don't think a lot of people own Matip, realistically. I don't think anyone cares about Bournemouth, but we'll go Bournemouth anyway. My whole thing froze there. Is there any shocks there? That is such a championship team. I do apologise if you're a Bournemouth fan, but that's not good. Take off your jumper and show me a good time. Cheeky search history clear. Got to get rid of that, you know, that stuff. You remind me of Ten Hag because I love you, Baldy. I love you too. Thank you. What's the tallest you've grown your beard? Oh, my beard I've had like really long before. I don't like it being this short, really. I think I need it a bit longer. Would you prefer a top 100k rank or Yelena dyeing her hair brunette? I want to see Yelena dye her hair brunette. I don't have anyone from Liverpool. Neither do I, mate. We're gonna. It's not gonna be a good one, is it? It's not gonna go well. The last half hour has been better than the 2 hours of FPL. I know. I feel like I should just bin off the FPL channel and just live stream about nonsense. Why were you searching for Ellie Helenex? She did a collab with Yelena yesterday, so I was trying to find the video. It was good. You should go subscribe to Ellie. Ellie's doing more FPL stuff now. Snog, marry, avoid. Andy, Harry, mate. I feel like I'm going to insult someone by answering that. I feel like there's no good way that I can answer that. Why did you choose a dinosaur as the logo for your YouTube channel? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea 2 years ago. I don't dislike it, though. Are you going to any games this weekend? No, I'm not, sadly. Why would you want your best friend to dye her hair brunette? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Weld number 2 just transferred in Kane for Haaland. Interesting. Oh, chat, you do make me laugh. How many points are you expecting? I'd like to hit 100, but I don't... It all comes down to captaincy at the end of the day. It all comes down to captaincy. Do your curtains match the carpet? Yes, absolutely. Funny how this chat becomes more fun without everyone asking about captaining Matip. Matip. What is the editing tool you use currently? To edit my videos, I use Adobe Premiere Pro. Are those fashion glasses or prescription? They're prescription. They're quite weak, but they're prescription. They've also got a blue tint on them, which is why when I look at the light, you can see it goes really like blue. Is because they've got a blue tint in the glass. Whose tip? My tip. Ross, my place or yours? Both. All of the above. Have you ever been to Norway? If not, would you want to, and where in Norway? I would love to go to Norway. I don't know where, though. I would need to do some research. Are you short-sighted or far-sighted? I always get this wrong. I'm short-sighted because I struggle to see in the distance. But, like, I could see everything in front of me without my glasses on. But it's just a little bit easier on my eyes. Would you ever consider joining Twitch? We discussed this earlier. I think I will be making a Twitch channel at some point, yes. Maybe with Yelena, maybe not. But basically to discuss F1? I don't even know what I was trying to say there. F1, just general chats, just stuff like post-deadline, what I'm doing right now, but just a general live stream. So hopefully quite a few people would watch my streams on Twitch. But we'll see. I prefer your beard short, Ross. Do you? What do we think, chat? Short or long? Short or long beard? Are you referring to his tip, Matip, or your tip? Matip. What is your favourite movie ever? Interstellar. I've said this before. Anything made by Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan only creates masterpieces. So Interstellar, Inception, The Prestige is excellent. The Dark Knight trilogy. You prefer it middle, long, short, pole, bushy, a bushy beard. Baldy plays GTA. Oh my god, should I call my Twitch channel Baldy Plays? Is there a Twitch channel already called Baldy Plays? That'd be funny. Poll on the beard. Right, I'll run a poll. Start a poll. How do you prefer the beard? Oh, I need to get up a picture to show you. I need to show you the two comparisons. One sec. Right, so this is like when it was really short. Right? So this is like me now. But then people forget how it was quite long. This is the long beard. Obviously, I have a hat on in this one. Right? So that's long. That's short. Okay? And that was my big sausage roll the other day. Oh, it looks weird. It was not that colour. So, there's your poll. NPC answer about Nolan. No, it's not. Christopher Nolan's a legend. Tenet wasn't great. I didn't actually particularly enjoy that. It's probably the worst film he's ever made, in my opinion. I just didn't. Shutter Island is an excellent film. Excellent film. Dunkirk is incredible. Exactly. The music for Interstellar. Oh my god. The music for Interstellar is just something else. At what age do you leave your parents? I left at 18 to go to university, and then I've not lived at home since. So that sausage looks tasty. It's not the first time I've heard those words. Oh, goodness me. Funny times. Can I see Ross with a beanie? You can see me with a beanie. I don't have a beanie in front of me. This is me with a beanie. Or I have multiple pictures of me with a beanie. There's me with a beanie. Oh, God. Nolan can't write a female character. That's actually an interesting point I haven't really considered before. Maybe. Shutter Island is Scorsese. Yeah, no, I was just in general, Shutter Island is a good film. I wasn't saying that it was Nolan. You should grow like a really big beard. I don't think it would suit me. Why do you have so many pictures of yourself? I don't have that many pictures. I've got like 40 or 50 pictures of myself. Why do you have all of these pictures on hand? Are you a model? No, I've got a album called Photos of Me, which they are all the photos you can see there. And then I got my fitness album, which no one cares about. That's it. They're all the pictures of me in the world. I don't have that many pictures of myself. Genuinely. It might seem like I do, but I genuinely don't. New OnlyFans account, the bald beanie. You look a bit like Jesse Pinkman with a shorter beard. Do I? Interesting. Can you do a Borat impression? No. I don't want to get cancelled. What spice level do you get at Nando's? Either medium or hot. I don't really like the extra hot. Medium or hot. Do you like big sausages? Yeah, I love big sausages. I don't mind small sausages either. Basically, I like any sausage. Sidemen versus Beta Squad. Oh, that's so tough. They're both good. But Beta Squad, probably. I feel like Beta Squad's slightly more adult. I feel like Sidemen is tailored to a slightly younger audience. Whereas I feel like Beta Squad tailored to adults a little bit more. Do you have a PhD? Yeah. No, I don't have a PhD yet. I'm getting a PhD as we speak. Stop saying this mad stuff whilst I'm playing FIFA. I love it. People message me like I was watching... People message me like I was watching my live stream in front of my mum, and I just say things like that. Yeah. It's fun. People take life too seriously, don't they? Have you got a VR headset? Yes, I do. I do have a VR headset. Obviously, I'm doing a PhD in VR. Who is your favorite band? My favorite band, like a traditional band rather than an artist. Probably of Monsters and Men. I love. Not of Mice and Men. Of Monsters and Men. I used to love them. I don't really listen to them much anymore. I don't really listen to many bands. I'll go with Monsters and Men because that's a slightly more out there pick. That's the differential selection. What is your go-to takeaway? Indian. How many languages do you speak? Just the one, sadly. Oh, bingo. I forgot about the bingo. How's the bingo going? Oh, because I said I'm doing a PhD in VR. Okay. I wonder why everyone shouted bingo. What are your shoes like? I've got no shoes. I was going to try and lift my leg up and show you, but that would have ended really poorly. I've got no shoes on at the moment. I've got socks on, though. Ross, send the Spotify playlist through. I've got so many playlists. If there was an FPL boxing match, who would you like to see boxing? What matchups would you like to see in an FPL boxing match? I'd fight anyone. I'm ready to fight. I'll throw fists in my lavender jumper. I would just smile until the opponent concedes. So people don't like my short beard as well. Thanks for making me feel good about myself, chat. 67% of you... Wait, that's strange maths. 67% prefer the beard normal. 32% prefer it short. So basically, 2/3 of you think I look terrible. So thank you very much for nothing. Yelena versus Ross. She would deck me. She's very aggressive. No, I'm joking. She's not. Well, she is, but not in that. Don't want to start rumours here. She would beat me up. Me versus Speed. Can you imagine? Raptor versus Let's Talk. Ross versus FPL Mate. FPL Harry versus FPL Mate. That would be a good one. Your shiny bald head would blind the opponent. I could polish my head and just try and direct the light at them. Gianni versus Az. That would actually be a good one. Gianni versus Az. I like that. Yelena versus Nim. That could be an interesting one. What's your what's your MySpace account? My MySpace account. I don't even know if I had a MySpace account. I'm sure I did back in the day. It was probably like Ross LOL kiss 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 or something. Would you say the poll has been useless? Once again, the poll has been useless. There you go. Do you like UK drill? I do. I do like UK drill. Do bald people polish their heads? I don't polish my head. No. Praz versus Late Riser. Praz versus Prenil would be quite the fight, yeah. Ross, let me Skype call you. Does Skype still exist? Raptors bangers UK drilling. Oh, I've got cramp. What do you think about Santan Dave? Santan Dave is my favourite artist. Ross, what's your favourite TV show and why? I love Suits. Is probably up there as being one of my favourites. Breaking Bad was obviously excellent. I'll go with Suits as a slightly different one. What's your favourite Dave song? Slightly out there. If you've not listened to it before, it's not one of his more popular one. It's God's Eye. Is my favourite Dave song. Have you seen You on Netflix? I watched the first few episodes and I wasn't that into it. Did you say Suits? Say what? Yeah, like Suits, like this. Suits. All Dave does is talk on the beat. I'm not going to get into rap terms, but he doesn't just talk on the beat. So I think it's a great song. Do you have a Discord, Ross? I do have a Discord. It'll be linked in the description. Would you ever do an FPL Game Week 38 bald 11? Maybe. When are we going to see Mike Ross X partnership, Ross? X words. I would love that. I love Mike Ross. What, man? Frosty's back. Hello, Frosty. Who is your favourite drill artist, Rossiter? Free my cousin suspect. I don't know. I just kind of listen to UK drill playlists in general and just have them on at the gym. Have you watched Game of Thrones? Yes, I have. You could rock a Mo Salah wig, potentially. Are you bald by choice? Yes and no. I have a bit of hair, but there's not much of it. So let's say no, I'm not bald by choice. Do you listen to Little Sims? I don't think so, but I'll have a listen. Oh, my bottom's dead. Oh, I've been sat here for 3 hours. Ow. Oh, also to the 1,000 people that are still here, go follow me on Instagram, please. Because if you're still here listening to this, then that means you love me. It doesn't necessarily, but it means you don't dislike me. If you're not yet following me over on Instagram, I would really appreciate it. Ow, my bottom hurts. Oh, don't take that out of context. It's because I've been sat down too long. Whoa. Ayo. Do not spam. Sorry, I spammed. I can't believe I just screamed my bottom hurts on a live stream. I'm having you on at the gym. I'm a weirdo. I love it. I love it. FPL still updating. I didn't think there would be many transfers this week. It will go. It'll be very, very soon, won't it? How's the dating life, Ross? I've given it a bit of a break. I'm not interested. This is the thing. I just don't want to date anyone at the moment. Like, I'm so happy not dating. I'm so busy that I've just given it a bit of a break. So there's not much of a dating update, to be honest. What are you sitting on? My chair. Do you enjoy leg day? Not particularly, Cameron. Not particularly. Oh, God. Where's the... I need to take a picture of this. One sec. Tamosa, I love that comment. Ross, you're so unhinged, just like Yelena. I love it. What a funny term to use, unhinged. Mr. Crunden, thank you for becoming a member, as well as 2 super chats today. I really do appreciate you. Welcome to the Raptor family. So Yolando is your sister. Actually, that's Yelena. Yolando. I'm going to call her Yolando from now on. No, she's not my sister. Ross, we're literally in love. What do you mean we're not dating? Sorry, Josh. You said you wasn't ready to commit, so I'm just taking it slow with you. To be fair, you were in a very long relationship. Enjoy some time to yourself for a bit. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Thank you, Rhiannon. Yolando Bloom. Do you date several women at once or one at a time? You've got far too much faith in me that I would be able to date several women at once. I have enough trouble getting one to date. So no, not several at once. But thank you for having the faith that I would be able to do that. That's very kind. Ross, what's your favourite travel destination? I've really not travelled very much at all. That's the plan over the next couple of years, especially if I can go full-time YouTube, then the plan is to travel a lot more. I'm hopefully going to Amsterdam for a month this summer, which will be exciting. Do you lecture sitting or standing up? I run around when I lecture. I move so much. I hate lecturers that just stand there or sit down. Like, it's so boring. So I'll run around, I'll walk up and down, I'll do weird things with my hands. I make an idiot of myself when I'm lecturing, but it tends to work quite well. Can we get a full Tinder analysis live stream at some point? Yeah, do you know what? When I get onto Twitch at some point, I'm going to make a Twitch channel at some point. I'll do a Tinder Twitch session where we can improve my profile together. Will you introduce Miss Raptor to us once you find her? Yeah, assuming she's okay with that. That some people wouldn't really want the relationship to be public, so maybe. It really depends. It really depends. You have a very specific accent, but I can't really recognize it. Do I? What is the specific accent? What do we think? Most of you that are in here probably know where I'm from, but I have to hide my original accent. I do it without thinking now, but when I first moved away from where I was born, I had to really physically concentrate on not speaking that way. What's your job other than YouTube? Oh, where's the bingo? I'm doing a PhD in the role of virtual reality in elite sport. And I'm also lecturing. So I lecture and I do a PhD. No, I'm not actually from Nottingham. I'm not from Nottingham. I live in Nottingham. I'm from Essex. So I have a very Essexy accent normally. Sometimes you'll catch me, I'll say something like, rather than saying water, I'll say water. Or something like, or bottle, rather than bottle. So sometimes I'll lose my T's, and then that's when you see the Essex. Have you been watching The Last of Us? No, but I'm going to when it's like out on TV in full. I'll watch it. Yeah, this is why I can't say will, and still, and still. Can you actually help me, chat? What is it about the way that I say the word will and will? Will. Is that wrong? Will. What is it? How do I change it? Will. Because I actually genuinely don't know. Like, I can't. FPL is still updating. Wow. Eel. Wheel. You say wheel like wheel. These are all the same words. Will. Wheel. Wheel. Pronounce the L. Yours sounds very soft. Will. How about if I say wheel? If I pronounce the H. Wheel. Oh, veal. Wheel. Oh, I don't know. You sound Welsh now. Say that and we leave. Oh, cool whip. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The cool whip from Family Guy. Brian, I don't know. Cool whip. Cool whip. Wheel. I don't know. Right, I think that's a sign that the stream's done. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for being here as always. Do subscribe on the way out. Do drop a like as well. I'll be back again for Game Week 28, and I can't wait because it's a blank game week. We've been thinking about it for a while, and it should be a good one. So best of luck. Hopefully McAllister scores a hat-trick, and if he doesn't, I will cry. So I'll catch you soon, and have a fantastic weekend, guys. See you later.